and we will oh gosh, hold on. Oh, problems everywhere. Alrighty. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all having an absolutely fantastic day. We are back with some Chasing Embers, session 5, and we will start with wherever he is in relation to me. That way, Scott doing a recap for us.
Yes. Well, last time, having rescued and escorted Aya in time for the auction in Miner's Folly, and the gold is deposited as her bidder's pool right as the big ticket items begin. As the bidding goes on, Sar introduces himself to Thrum, who has worked with the illicit goods there. Itella goes shopping at Hagrin's. Corwin and Itella stick with Aya and notice some shady groups in the back of the crowd. It turns out that Aya was there to bid on the Beacon of Unending Flame, a beacon that once lit can only be put out by a blood relative of the one that lit it. She wins the bid, but upon doing so, a gold and silver flaming warforged appears and incinerates the auctioneer, vanishing with the brazier, leaving a stoker of flames and half a dozen of the same warriors with melted gold they rescued Aya from, with more in the surrounding area attacking the town. The battle is settled with the aid of local guards and Pewter, who was there on the behalf of the Guildwood Protectorate to protect dangerous artifacts, though with many deaths of the locals around. During the battle, Zar had noticed Thrum go off to, after the elven man that had won the curing elixir heads to where it occurred and quickly loots said elf's body. After speaking with Aya and learning the sale was completed, so the money is spent, they message the mystery employer. They tell the party that they need to get the beacon back and to use the remaining money to get geared up at Broken Cross Outpost for the task before returning a message again. They head to bed for the night with Zar and Corwin spending a gold to be put up in a house, and Itella and Helena spending a night with the horses. And this is where we return to the party the next morning in Miner's Folly, following much local death and fire.
Yeah, so I think we will pick up as the sun is coming up for those sleeping in the stables, and I think it's kind of up to you guys if you kind of just roll over and sleep through the sunrise, as it pretty clearly shines through the stables. But that'll be up to the two of you. Either way, you'll get the majority of a good night's sleep if you do. Well, as good as you can get sleeping on the ground next to horses. And the hay, that's a little itchy. That's fine. But whether you guys wake up and just sort of chill out for the next 2 or 3 hours, or you guys wait 2 or 3 hours to get up, we will head over to...
Oh, I was just going to say something.
Oh, what's up?
First of all, I slept well. I'm used to sleeping on the ground. 1.
Makes sense.
And 2, I am using the item that I bought at the general goods store.
Oh, yeah. That actually gives me a reminder that Helena can also work with that as well, as this is the completion of a long rest. She can use the Tinker's Kit she picked up to try and repair the device. The thing that she found. If you'd like to do that, Helena.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that should be in there. Go ahead and give me I think we will start with a Tinker's Tools intelligence check for you, and then we'll go over to what you're doing, Mothership, after that. Alrighty, so you have a fairly good idea of how to go about repairing this thing. As you sort of use the Tinker's Tools to delve into it a bit more and study the components that are there and figure out what's missing and what you're going to need to buy and whatnot. So you've got a better idea of the situation, and we'll leave it there for now.
By the way, before I went to sleep the previous night, Corwin, with his last spell slot, would have resummoned the Drake brand new as acid type, so that it's in the morning after the long rest I get my slots back and the ability to summon him again. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, fair.
but he'll be acid type from now on, or today, moving forward.
Fair. All right. And Itella, what were you going to do?
Oh my goodness. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Sorry. It's not like I can shut it off. I am actually very sorry.
Oh my god. I'm surprised it didn't come through on mine, but that's fine.
In the meantime, I'll quickly mention that early in the morning, like upon waking up, still just sort of groggily in the morning, Sar'll see if he can just focus on like working out if this studded leather that he looted off the corpse, like cleaning it off a bit and trying to work out if there's anything more than studded leather about it, because I think it also there was something about it that looked slightly different, but I didn't catch that as well.
Yeah, so yeah, over the course of the hour after you wake up, you're sort of just just for clarification's sake, are you just like sitting in the room and doing this, or are you gonna leave
yeah.
the room?
Just in the room, like Sar's not a morning person.
Fair enough. Yeah, so let me go get to that. Right here. This is yeah, so first and foremost, it is on the surface it just looks like a sort of a more elaborate leather jacket. It is in fact like a leather coat that then layers over top of itself for just a couple of extra layers. It is +1 studded leather. It is just referred to as a layered studded jacket. It cannot be marred, stained, or tarnished. Any damage it takes repairs itself almost immediately, so long as it is unobstructed. The wearer gains resistance to acid damage. And it is optional in its attunement. The attuned creature gains resistance to any area of effect or explosion they are the cause of. It is +1 studded leather armor. You know, I can send that to you later, but that's the gist of it.
With that, I did just start thinking of Siphon.
Yeah, well, there would be similarities between the person you got it from and Siphon, that's for sure. Many similarities. But yeah, so you fancy +1 leather armor basically. We'll just leave it at that for the moment. I can send the rest to you later.
Fabulous.
Break now that I think about it. So yeah, you've got that figured out. Did your sounds stop over there, Mothership? Can we?
I thought it was going to take forever. My goodness. So anyway, I appreciate being told how to safely drive in a storm. But anyway,
some people need that.
Yeah.
More than others.
Yes. Anyway, I am actually drawing the horse. What are horses?
You're gonna draw your horses with the direct reference across the way. Sure thing. I think that would be.
It.
If did you put in the illustrator's kit? Is that on your sheet? It should be.
Yes, it is on my sheet.
If you click that, let's go with wisdom. As you're sort of like looking directly off of a reference, you're sort of perceiving them and sketching it onto paper. Wisdom seems the logical choice in this context. So you should be able to click it, and it'll ask you what attribute you want to use, and go with wisdom.
Okay, didn't ask me anything.
And it did somewhere because it didn't come through. If your sheets popped out, it might be behind it.
Oh, true. No, do not see it.
Um,
No.
on the tool and skills bit, if when you click on the cog, on the attribute, is it on query attribute or is it on something else?
Query. It's on query.
Yeah. It's probably just putting the actual box that's like, what do you want to roll, somewhere weird. I've seen it put it like literally all over the place, so who knows?
No.
But I think it's supposed to go directly in the center of Roll20, and it doesn't sometimes.
Yeah. If where it's query, if you just change it to wisdom, and then it should just auto roll, like for the time being.
Yeah, and fix it later if it's being weird. Or change it later.
Come on. There we go. Hello, wisdom. There you are. Okay, so let's try it again. There we go.
Yeah. So, especially considering you haven't done a ton of drawing in your life, you do make a pretty accurate representation of the two horses. So good practice there.
Nice.
Yeah. We start with what you're familiar with.
Fair enough. And
Considering I've been a horse, I betcha.
I've been a horse. I know how to draw. I'm not sure that's how that works, but sure. Yes. So I think that's all of your morning stuff done. Oh, Corwin, that was your last night stuff. Is there anything specific you want to do as you're getting up in the morning before we move on to the group reuniting?
No, I think just, when when Corwin gets up, he'd probably go straight to business and, make sure that everyone is safe, secure, sets up perimeter kind of just, and does the warden thing in the vicinity.
Just like off the house you guys are napping in, or just like...
No, I think out into the streets and out in the town and maybe around the entire Miner's Folly,
Sort of
do some scouting,
just
be aware
around, try and figure out assess the situation now that there's full light and everything. Sure. Yeah, you can do that. I will say as you leave the room, you do notice that there's no one else in the house, and then you sort of continue out and can sort of probably like walk around the town and loop back around to the stables to pick up the other two, maybe. Now, that makes sense. Do you want to inform Sar that you're doing so?
Sure. As I leave, I'll, say I'm going to go do make the rounds, check on things.
Yeah, I can see you've been a bit. There's a really groggy voice behind the door.
Make note that you're gonna meet up with them at the stables as well. Or would you want Sar to meet you there, or just do whatever Sar's gonna do?
I think I'd just say bye and leave. You know what I mean? Let him sleep if he wants to sleep, and assume that we're gonna meet at the stables.
Fair. Yeah. So you can you do make the rounds. You see people sort of like cleaning up after. In large part, it's people starting with like their. It's sort of a mixed bag. Some people are starting with like trying to clean up their houses and get the soot from all the burning buildings off of their houses, while you have other people who are sort of like cleaning up the houses themselves, and then other people still who are sort of putting the bodies in their place. And I think we talked about it last time. There was definitely a disparity between the bad guys are getting tossed in a pile, and then the townsfolk are being like laid out like respectfully.
Right.
And there's a definite disparity there, which I think you still notice the following morning. It looks a bit more cleaned up by comparison to what you saw last night, but you do notice that in addition to the inn, about half the houses have burned down, give or take.
Right.
But other than that, it doesn't seem like anything else was affected beyond the soot-covered buildings, that is. and you kind of make your round through the town, passing the, now you can see it in light, the actual auction stage, which is like weirdly distorted, and there's like chunks of armor sticking out of it. But hey, positive note, it's not, glowing red and and it doesn't have a giant golden ball of fire in the middle of it. Oh, giant is relative, but
Right.
And you make your way to the stables, which I would say it's probably about an hour after the two stable folks woke up. You guys have done your stuff, and Corwin comes around. Oh, what do you want to do as you come around to your friends?
Oh, when I show up, I would just relay everything I learned. Everything seems calm. The whole auction place is not, is still the way we left it last night. So, seems like nothing more, is in danger here, basically. What's the plan? What are we doing? We're heading back to Broken Cross Outpost, right?
I picture you like you're over here, and they're like like standing up in the stables, and you're just like talking to them through the like half wall of the stables. Alternatively, you could just walk all the way up and around and go into the stables yourself, but that was where my mind went.
If I thought they could hear me, you know what I mean? Like, I would approach them and make sure that everybody, that we're together.
For sure.
Assuming, is everybody here? Are we all now together?
It's the three.
Sarah will probably be at about another quarter of an hour. Because an hour of while you were doing the wandering and whatnot, Sal was groggily waking up and checking out the studded leather jacket, and then we'll have sort of started to make a move towards outdoors, and then gradually over to the Staples as the most logical place to check out, with the horses being there.
I think as you're like opening the door, you push it open, and there's a guard standing there, who's like putting a notice on the actual door itself, and he goes, "Well, what are you doing here?"
Waking up. What are you doing here?
Right. So you slept in a dead man's house?
Well, the family that we're here, we paid them to stay. They stayed with, they slept with, I'm sure they're just upstairs.
It's a single story, sir, and
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's early. It's early.
You imagine he's like, it's 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. It's early. But no. No, the owner of the house died yesterday. He like points over to like the line of bodies. If there was someone else in this house, I would like to know.
Yeah, like I paid someone to stay. In fact, yeah, they were supposed to give me breakfast, and they never did.
You did not know. Right. So
wait, so so I'll give like a super general description. They said they had their kids here as well. Did I just pay some looters?
And I think like you're thinking to yourself, and you're like, yeah, there were no toys in that room. There was nothing that indicated it was a kid's room whatsoever. So yeah, yes, it sounds like you paid some looters. Given that you helped protect the town, I'll let you go on this one, but try to avoid falling for that trick again.
Yeah, well, it was a big day last night. Hopefully, not going to have to deal with that sort of need for sleep again. Wait, so what is... I'm just up. What is the situation in the town now?
No. About half the townsfolk died. About half the buildings were destroyed. The problem is, in large part, it wasn't the same half. If you understand what I mean. But for the moment, we're managing to clean up and probably rebuild. And the guard captain already sent word to Stefano of the attack. Hopefully, it's not something that will happen again. That's about where we are.
And like while he's talking, Sal sort of also had a look at the thing that he was starting to pin up on the door.
Oh yeah, it just basically notifies that the owner of the house is dead, and it kind of you're kind of getting the idea that they're just trying to assess the situation with property versus who died, that sort of thing. It's not a huge deal, right? It's not like, oh hey, you're evicted or anything.
Yeah.
I'm not going to evict the dead people. It seems a lot more like they're trying to figure out and note down who lived and who died, and probably going to try and reassign property to the survivors, but that's just kind of a loose assumption you've made.
Well, keep up the good work. Think we've got more to deal with these golden metal fire folk.
Right. Good luck with that, and preferably don't bring it back here.
I don't suppose there's any rumors going around about any information about them. We're supposed to track them down now, I think.
Give me a persuasion check.
Yeah.
So you can get some information out of the guard.
Bat your eyes at him.
Still waking up.
Mostly just nonsense people were spouting after the attack. Nothing I think you could go on. Good luck.
Yeah, that figures. Okay. Well, thanks. And, sorry about saying it kind of to the house. Sorry about intruding.
It's more amusing that you paid to do it. Have a good day.
Yeah. Ugh. A gold. A gold. as he says as he wanders away.
Yeah. You come to the stables, which has the three of them sort of like coming out to the front of it and probably having a conversation of their own about what the plan is as you're coming up. So if the three of you have anything to say on that front to each other, because that was what Corwin asked, was what's the plan?
and does SAR tell us everything that just happened? I'm assuming we weren't in earshot.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's up to you, Sar, but you were not in earshot.
Yeah, like when Sar eventually gets over there, he'll start with the lead of telling Corwin that that place that we stayed at, those weren't the people that lived there. I think they were just looters.
So they were just looting, and they lied to us, and we just bought it.
Yeah, I didn't even think twice about it.
Wow. Live and learn.
Yeah,
better next time.
Yeah, it was a guard at the door that let me know that, and yeah, it turns out that like they've sent word to Stefano about what's happened, and they're just trying to work out the details of who's alive, whose homes are burnt down, separating all that sort of stuff out.
I just kind of, lightly scold my Drake, like, why didn't you tell us? You should have known. That's you should sniff these things out. Okay, well, is it time to move to the next step, Broken Cross Outpost? And I can't remember exactly what the guy said, how he said it. I was trying to remember, but we're supposed to go get, upgrades.
Yeah, Broken Cross from here, it's definitely, as our employer said, it's definitely the place in order to get ourselves geared up and prepared, and then we can because we've got to do that with the thought of trying to track down this brazier that all of this drama's happened over.
I mean, it's going to take like several days to get back to the Broken Cross Outpost, right?
Like 3-4 days.
So, I mean, we could potentially talk to this guy, or this person, I should say, because we don't know anything about them at all, right? It's just, can we actually tell? Do we hear the person's voice through the ring? Does Helena hear the person's voice? You know what I mean? Or is it just you get the message?
It's a sort of disguised voice based on last time. A sort of distorted,
I mean,
as if
that's right.
disguising it.
That's right. I remember
Helena
you mentioned.
did mention that, yeah.
Right, I remember now. So, but the point is, we could continue to ask more questions. I guess 3 a day, or not. I mean, we don't have to, but that's an option.
Yeah. Well, they did specifically tell us that we to message them after.
Okay.
We've gone back to Broken Cross and geared up. But there's stuff that we could do with knowing. So, and they're hiring us for a job. Like I'd consider it being proactive to make sure that we're getting all the information we can.
I mean, you can certainly try, as you guys are like hitching up the horses to the wagon, all of which you technically stole from dead bandits.
They can complain if they want, but I mean,
it's a little hard now.
Well, it's not like they really need them. Now they're in their, spirit form, and they can go anywhere they want.
Fair.
They don't need horses.
I did want to ask if you guys we're going to name the horses as you're like hitching them up.
I can't even think of a name for my Drake.
Oh my gosh. Let me work on it. Because,
to think about.
You would name them, yes.
Fair.
I'll work on that.
I mean, at this point, you've technically had the horses less than 24 hours, so... Or about...
2 questions.
About a day.
2 questions.
About a day, yeah. Huh.
What color are the horses, and male or female? Oh, probably female. What am I thinking?
Mm-hmm.
They usually use mares. Okay.
Yes.
Color?
Female. One is, one's just like straight brown, and the other is, I know they have a name for it, and I can't remember it, but it's like where it's brown, and then like there's speckles of white like along the neck.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and probably a bit of white down by the hooves. Why am I doing this to my arm like my hand is a hoof? Just as an example, okay. Like right here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll work on that.
But it will be about 3.5 days journey by horseback, as opposed to like closer to 6 days that it would have been on foot. And you guys can start heading that way. In that time is you guys are probably going to rest once a day, which we'll get to later. But in that time, while you guys are sort of in the wagon and heading that way, you guys can have any sort of conversations between yourselves that you want. And I think you had a ring you wanted to look at as well, Sar.
That's right, yes. And yeah, over the travel, would check out the ring, see if there's anything about that as well.
Heck yeah. So we'll start with if you guys want to have any sort of conversation on the first day. I mean, I don't know about what just happened, for example.
Yeah.
You know, last night. I guess not just happened.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, one thing that is, so looks like we're going to be fighting those sort of melted metal people. Again, like, I don't know about of you. Have any of you noticed anything that they seem to be particularly good with, bad with? For me, it's mostly I've just been trying to keep them off me with Thunderwave.
Thunder!
And it seems to be just as effective as that sort of spell tends to be on anything else from my perspective. How about you lot? Any thing that they've done or you've done to them?
I'm pretty sure they're resistant to ice. When I made my Drake ice and he attacked, it didn't. It seemed to take the hit well. So I'm making that educated assumption.
Oh, resistant. That's good to know.
They're their own personal heaters.
Yeah.
Gotta keep warm.
I believe they do fire damage. I mean, they're, anything that would be fire resistant may help, but that's untested. By the way, on this ride, Corwin would take a period of time duration to just bond a little bit with Helena over the way the auction started. The two of them came to Aya and basically did a great job, in my opinion. So I would commiserate with her a little bit on that.
You did a good job, and so did I.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. GG. Right, way to go. Right on.
Also, as a point of order, because I forgot to mention her in the morning, Aya did come out and come with you guys. You're not sure where she stayed, so unless you directly ask her, you're probably not going to find that out. And she's not really, at this point, talking to anybody. She's sort of just sitting at the back of the wagon. But she is there. Like, I just forgot to mention it. But yeah, the two of you can sort of commiserate over the fact that you did the job, where everyone else was like off doing their own thing. And yeah, you guys can sort of conversate in that sense. So sort of the possible effectiveness of the enemies, and then you two have that conversation. And at some point during the day, Sar would look at this ring. It is an emerald signet ring of protection. So it is a ring of protection. And you sort of get the idea, based on your time with it, that if you press it against your forehead, it will deliver a message to you that's pre-recorded in the ring. Whether that's a specific message, you're not sure. But you also are aware you can't like record a message and put it in the ring, so it kind of gives you the assumption it's a preset message. If that's something you wanted to do.
For the message, is that attunement required or?
No. It'll just deliver this message to the forehead of anyone, like into the mind of anyone you press it against the forehead of. Before we get to that, I will say, like, in the light, you can sort of see the signet ring better. It's like a crescent moon with the emerald, like, in the center of it, and there's, like, little specks of the same, like, type of metal that are, like, probably meant to represent, like, glittering starlight or something. Which you can give me a history check. But you probably don't know what it is.
Come on, not 20.
No, it's not impossible. The opposite.
What was I thinking about again?
Looks cool. That's about all you got.
Yeah.
And then you can listen to the message if you want, or you can just use the ring.
Yeah, I think in
as it's
particular with
designed.
the nat one of sort of like not really knowing, yeah, okay, let's.
What languages do you speak?
Oh, I think it's just let me double check. Oh, Druidic, common and undercommon.
All right, so give me a God. I guess this would just be a general intelligence check to see if you can recognize the language because you don't speak it. I don't think it'd be super hard.
Oh my
harder than
god!
that.
What are my rolls today?
Getting them out of the way.
I'm just getting all the bad ones out of the way at the
Right.
beginning.
For sure. It is not a language you speak, and you don't really recognize it. It's one of those things you're like, well, it could be this one or this one or this one or this one. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. So you really don't understand the message or know the language that it's spoken in.
Yeah.
You could always have someone else try if you wanted.
Do I get a sort of sense of tone or like
Sure,
is
yeah.
it?
Well,
Although I guess like depending on what language it actually is and how different it is to a sort of tone
I'll
I
let
might
you do an
expect, like
insight.
with a 4 intelligence that.
I'll let you roll
Yeah.
an insight to see if you can assess the tone based on a language you do not speak.
Okay. That's a little better.
It's the voice sounds as if it's attempting to be comforting. That's about all you got.
Mm. Yeah, in which case, no, I'm just going to leave that be, because I'm imagining that it might be something personal to the prior owner.
That's probably a fair assessment, honestly. But yeah, if there's nothing anyone else would like to discuss, we can sort of come to the end of the first day. You guys would set up like camp at the edge of the road and stuff. If y'all want to do that.
Yeah,
While
I
we're
can't think of
setting up
anything.
camp, I will tell them the names of the horses.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the pure brown one is Rocco, and the other one is Polka, or her polka dots.
Fair enough.
Rokram Poker.
Mm.
I think that suits them well.
I love it. Corwin would go up and introduce himself to both horses by name.
I find that animals, once they have names, obey better.
That's where we are. Only gonna be this little cart. This stubby
When
little
the
cart.
map popped up for a second, I thought you spelled Hollywood wrong.
Fair. Took me a minute, but yeah, I could see that. Alright, so during this long rest, as you guys sort of probably have some rations and wind down for the evening, Helena can go ahead and make that roll.
For the tooth?
Yeah. This one, let's have it as dexterity, and we'll kind of be alternating with that as to what each one would be. Alright. Yeah. And sort of working on the process of like scraping any of the remnants out of what you and no one else knows was an explosion. And you're sort of just like cleaning it out so you can repair it from here. And you'll probably be doing that for a couple days now that you've got the tools to do it properly. And that's that for you. Is there
Do I see her doing this?
probably?
Well,
I don't think
wondering-
it's up to you, Helena. I don't think she's hiding it.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering how much that would disturb him.
I mean, it's up to you. You're aware of what it comes from,
Right.
but you're also aware that you have no idea how it works. So you'd have to decide, would knowing be more beneficial than disturbing?
I'll have to think about that.
And that might be where you sit for the night. You see her working on this, and you're like, and now you're thinking about it.
Right, and now I'm gonna go sit away from her while she works on it.
Fair. As no one knows what's happening. But if there's nothing anybody else wants to do for the evening, you guys can just take your standard watches, rest for the evening, and come to the next day. Come to, like, wake up, I guess. Come to.
Yeah.
Same difference, you know? But yeah.
Arise. We arise the next day.
Definitely. You guys wake up the next day, and you guys can continue on your journey. If there's anything you'd like to discuss now, I'm going to just give you all
How
the
did
chance
everybody sleep?
for that.
Slept fine.
Isn't the ground wonderful?
Holds up that door.
That's one thing you notice about him is he sleeps directly on the ground with the bedroll laying on top of him.
Oh, really?
Like a weighted blanket.
Yep.
Are we usually in forest, like forested areas, generally speaking?
Yeah. I think pretty much the entirety of the campaign so far has been in like this foresty area, and then it's sort of like faded to like pretty much little to no forest when you hit Miner's Folly, as that's like sort of
Right.
pressed up against a mountain.
Okay. Yeah, generally speaking, I'm in complete agreement with Itella.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, Itella. When she said everything she just said. Ground's great,
Fair.
forest is great. Love it out here.
I will say that like my description of Miner's Folly previously, I think the phrase I was looking for was that it's like at the very base of the mountain before it like gets like really, tall, and there's like a whole bunch of mountain above it. Right.
Right.
But I kept saying like small mountain. That's not what I meant. So yeah, base of a mountain.
Giant hill.
Giant hill. And if there's nothing in particular that you guys want to do for this evening or for this day, you guys can just proceed forward. And pretty much for the day, is there anything anybody wants to do or no? I mean, in fact, if there's anything anybody wants to do, like ask certain questions or anything, we can just proceed forward to Broken Cross. I'm gonna go close my heater vent. I can still hear.
None's jumping to mind for me.
Yeah, I mean, generally, I think maybe just to break the silences, we would get to know each other, but I don't know that.
Yeah, sort of small talk building
Yeah.
into chit chats and
Like-
yeah.
Corwin would say, so you light up like a light bulb. Not that Corwin knows what a light bulb is, but you know what I mean? There would be that communication of, so you
Turn into a torch.
change forms. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Oh,
But. Like, I don't
yeah,
know. that
like
I-
like there's a bunch of different types of druids. Like like I tell you, you're the same of being able to like be various animals and whatnot, right? But I love the stars at night, and there's so much to learn from them, and with that, like there's more than just animals you can be. You can sort of bring the sort of stellar powers into yourself, and sort of will like pull out the sort of archer form if it's sort of like a bit later in the day and not currently feeling that there's going to be any risks, and you see this sort of like glowing smoke coming from one of his hands, sort of moving about but sort of settling into a sort of arch sort of pattern as it's still, but also like this light radiating sort of through what he's wearing from his body at various points. Oh, and yeah, and you, so this
so that would be
drake of yours
useful in
there.
a dark cave.
Say again, sorry.
That would be useful in a dark cave. Right?
Oh gosh, yeah. Like I don't know about you lot, but I can't really see if there's no light around.
Yeah, we kind of realized that in that first cave.
Mhm.
If
Yeah, so-
necessary, just stick with me.
Yeah, so am I right in thinking that all of you in the dark can actually see pretty well?
Yeah,
Mhm.
no
Oh,
problem.
that must be so handy. I've got to cast a spell if I want to do that.
Yeah, but there are things you want to unsee that you cannot.
It's better in the dark.
Yep.
I think I'd probably let everybody know too that, hey, I picked up a thing or two from you druids. I now can do the cure wounds spell, so I'll try to help out a little bit more with the healing.
Oh, that's great. Like, the safer we are, the better, absolutely. And yeah, you've got that. I assume the Drake's sort of just in the carriage with us or something?
If we can all fit, yeah.
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 He's not much bigger than, a large dog at this point. He
Yeah.
grew a little bit, maybe. I don't know if it's visually. He doesn't really change until 7th level, but he's technically 4th level with, now, so.
It's like 10% bigger every level.
Yeah.
Might call it.
He's a growing boy.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is like a summon of yours, and so sort of slowly goes to sort of pet it.
Mm. He's friendly to all of the companions.
Fair.
And yeah, upon seeing no negative reaction, just goes ahead and starts patting and stroking and whatnot.
And apparently anyone who gives him jerky.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, fair.
Hey, he generally follows my orders. So if I tell him not to eat any jerky, he won't. Though I'll probably pay for it later. In some fashion. I keep catching him nibbling on my boots, and that's just gotta stop. We're gonna change that. So.
Well, it seems like a useful friend to have around.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah. And I imagine after your day's worth of talking, you guys come to another campsite and rest for the evening. It's going to be relatively uneventful except for the rolls and the conversations this time around. Now that we're half done, I'm mentioning it, but should have probably mentioned that earlier. It's fine. Yeah. So, as you guys settle down for the long rest, Helena, if you want to give me another Tinker's Tools with Dexterity again. I think these longer travel times are going to be beneficial for your eventual goal of fixing whatever this thing is. Okay, fair enough. That is indeed a roll, and it will. I imagine wrong character. Itella will continue to keep distance until you're certain of how you feel about the fact that Helena is fixing this thing.
Yes, in my contemplation, I think I'm going to draw some trees. See if I can just relax.
Yeah, if you're using a direct reference, I will call it wisdom again.
Okay.
I know you're technically not proficient, so it's technically too lower, but whatever.
I think Corwin would also ask Aya what she's doing once we return.
Well, imagine I'm gonna take some time off, honestly. But I know if I don't go back, especially after, technically speaking, the object we purchased was stolen before it was delivered. If I don't go back before I go on vacation, I might be seen as running from the problem.
Right. Well, we're witnesses. We'll let him know.
And I think the fact that you're currently going to be going on an extended mission to find what we were sent to retrieve, that might help as well.
Yep. We got you.
As I would really rather not lose my job, but I've also been beaten unconscious 4 times in the last week, so I would really rather just, go to a spa or something,
Yeah, absolutely. We could all use a break for sure.
Yeah, I can't Sarah sort of I've been like sat in the same sort of area, so overhearing it and say just chime up like while looking at his star map. Like, can't blame you. This all started off with you being kidnapped after all.
Oh yes, and I think I'm gonna have a scar or two from that event. Oh my! She pulls down and there's like this like scarred handprint. It's a burn, just like on her shoulder.
How?
And she's like,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, it was touch and go when we first found you. You were down. You were gone. We brought you back. So.
Which I certainly appreciate. I would much rather be here than not, but maybe I double
Completely
my
agree.
guard next time. Maybe
Glad
that's
you're here
what I do.
too.
It's much appreciated. Yeah, and you guys can rest for the evening from there. Pretty much.
How did that drawing come out?
You can definitely tell they're trees. They're decent. Not as good as the horses did that first time around, but they come out pretty good. Definitely trees. Definitely work in progress. As it's like, oh, those look pretty good. I mean, I can kind of see that there's like a problem with here, and here, but I'm not here to nitpick, so they look pretty good. Kind of scenario. And it seems like something to work on, right? No drawing expert quite yet. Yeah, and come around the next morning and the next day. It's a very uneventful. It's a very uneventful sort of a bit of travel time, right?
Not that we mind.
Yeah.
Probably, at least in part, because you killed all the bandits in this area on your way through. That probably has something to do with it.
And we've not stopped at that barn again.
No, you just rode past it. Like you sort of look, and now that you have the context, you see like the giant plants are definitely sort of leaning in your direction as you go by, and you're like, nope, I ain't dealing with that. It's like they know I'm here, and that alone is terrifying.
Yeah. That unnatural in it, that unnaturalness needs to be dealt with, but not now.
Fair enough. Yeah, and you guys come to a rest, and it's about 3.5 days. So this will be the last roll from Helena, and then for your drawing, if that's what you want to do.
Okay.
Dexterity?
Yeah, dexterity again, please. Hey, that's pretty good. Yeah, you definitely think you're getting somewhere, but it's a time-consuming process, just because there's like a lot of grime and soot, because that's apparently the theme of the campaign. Intentionally or otherwise, you're sort of like just scraping it all out there, and I think it's in part because you're trying to be gentle enough as to not damage the tube itself, or any of the mechanisms attached to it, and it's a process, but you're definitely getting there. Definitely getting there. And if nothing else, we will have you guys rest for the evening. Oh, there's something else. What are you drawing this time? What are you drawing very well this time?
added the horses to the picture with the trees.
Nice.
Nice.
In the sense that you drew them, not you just stuck the two sheets together.
No,
uh,
no, I do not have any glue on me.
oh yeah, that's a mixed media art, right? You'd like cut the horses out and like glue them next to the trees. But you know, fair. It looks great. They look. I mean, in terms of like, they definitely look like horses, and they definitely look like these specific horses, which I think that like ability to identify which horses is like, oh wow, good job. They're not generic horses. Amazing. So all around, pretty good. Oh, you know what? Actually, that's only adding your wisdom right now, so it's not even adding proficiency bonus. Good. So that is just a 23. No reduction there. Yeah. So sun comes up. You guys wake up and head out. Before like it's probably actually closer to the end of day rather than halfway through the day. You guys come to the Broken Cross outpost. So the actual Broken Cross outpost is like it's a very, very large, primarily wooden structure. It has multiple floors. The first floor is stone, but the other two floors are wood, hence primarily wooden. It actually comes up and over the road, and the primary like top floor is just the barracks for the different people. And when I say barracks, I don't mean like an open room. I mean like multiple rooms, each which has like two beds in it. And I believe it's hold on, I have it written here. It is how many people? 24 rooms, so it would be 12 and then 12. Like the hallway in the center. As you go down, you have the sort of like left side, which is like just like miscellaneous storage stuff, and then you have the right side, which is where the quartermaster is. The miscellaneous storage side also has the rooms for both of them, for the quartermaster and the manager, Rizu, who you talked to before, who gave you the job. And yeah, that's about that. Technically, the sort of like right side doesn't really have entrance. It's the left side that has an entrance. The right side entrance is more of a, well, if things go bad, we need an emergency exit scenario. And you can go in through there, but it's weird, and they'll probably think something suspicious of you. They don't really have. They have like an like sort of an awning, like sort of overhang thing for horses and stuff. It's not really quite the level of a stable, but it can serve as such, and you can sort of hitch your horses there and store your cart under there. Currently, there's nothing there, and you know, technically, since as I mentioned many times, the actual pass. The crossing through the mountain caved in like a decade ago in a rock slide. Caved in is the wrong phrase. It's just the road ends right against this like rock slide, so it's not like you couldn't put your cart and horses there too if you really wanted to. So there you go. That's kind of the gist of it. And you guys can head inside if you like.
Absolutely, and I see no reason not to use their sort of pseudo staples. In particular, if the weather's all right.
Okay, I will go ahead and unhitch the horses.
Yeah, and just sort of hitch them to the pseudo stables, if you will.
Yeah.
And I will say, even though what I had previously said was halfway through the day, it'd be closer to the end of day. So, you know, it's up to you guys if you wanted to go like speak to the manager and the quartermaster now, or if you wanted to rest first, and then, you know, it's all up to you guys. However you guys want to approach the situation. It is end of day, though.
Sarah'll suggest to the group, I think shall we go and fill in them? Because it was the manager that we sort of got this task from, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And to the party and Aya, for that matter. Shall we go and fill the manager in just now? While everything gets set up for the night?
That would probably be the place to start, yeah.
Yeah, I think if it's still open, they're still on duty. Let's just get that done with.
I agree.
Yeah, you guys come in and you see Rizu like in the back. He's taking something just unhooking it from one thing and just hooking it onto like a hook that's got a whole bunch of a similar thing. They kind of look like a ring that has something hanging down from it, and it's like almost a bronze what do you call it, like a tongue? That's not the right word. It's just like a section, like a rectangle of bronze, and he takes it off of this and he hooks it over here. You guys, it's hard to say if you know specifically what that is. It'll be a pretty difficult roll, but if anybody's interested in knowing what that is, give me a history check.
Yeah, I would.
It'd be pretty up there.
I'm just gonna ask him.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask him. What the heck is that?
So none of you inherently know, and Itella just goes, "What's that?" He looks over and goes, "Oh, so he takes it back off and he like heads over to you guys and holds it up and he goes, "This represents the represents a rookie squad of mercenaries, much like yourself. And when somebody gets a job and he turns it and there's a label on it, it's just like a name, right? One that none of you guys recognize. We put their name on it. We hang it up, and that means they're on task." I took it off, and he turns around and hangs it back up, and he goes, "It means their job's done, and they're currently not assigned. You guys, did you guys finish the job?"
Can we point at her? I mean, our job was to get her.
Well, it was to get her and then help her finish her job, technically.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I guess we start, if we explain what happened and if,
we finished that job and we got a follow-up job.
yes.
Right.
It's going to be a bit of a story if you've not heard.
Not specifically, no.
Aya's here, right? She's right here with us, so, I don't know, nudge her in the back. Yeah. Go ahead and tell him what happened. Yeah. Tell him what happened, Aya.
Yeah.
First things first, your job's done, right?
She'll definitely tell him what happened, and he'll. So you gotta go find the stolen item then, right? Yeah. That's what's next.
That's our new request. We were told to message them again once we've got stocked up here in order to be ready for dealing with these people and getting the brazier back.
And I assume you're off this task then, right? Yeah, my part in this is done. I just come back to make sure that we're all good, that I did my job and it was outside my hands. And he goes, "Yeah, of course." He turns and he heads over and he grabs one of the little tags. I think it might be a better word for them as tags instead of ring with a rectangle on it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and there is a term for it, but I'm blanking as well.
For the life of me. And this one, I think God, your whole party has very high perception. You see that it has Aya Wit written on it, and it's silver as opposed to bronze. And he takes it and he hangs it on like the silver one. And I think you guys notice that it was on a like this what do they call them earlier? Oh, a brand day. I guess it's a peg, right?
Yeah.
Like coming out of the wall, and above it, it's got like a silver plate as opposed to like a bronze plate, like the one he took the previous bronze one off of. And you can see another tag, and it's got Helena's name written on it, as she's one of the two of your group that has been in the group that has been a mercenary for the longest. So it's her name on it. It's just like and company, and it's on the silver, this like silver peg.
The same peg?
Yeah,
or...
the same one. Like, you guys were on the same
Right.
job as Aya at that point. And
Gotcha.
and he takes Aya and he takes her off and puts her on the silver peg over there. And then he goes over and he goes, well, I got bad news for you guys. And he takes he takes your guys' little bronze tag. He takes it off and he puts it on a gold peg. This sounds like it's going to be difficult. Hopefully you guys can handle it.
Sounds fun.
Considering the number of people that died in Miner's Folly, I wouldn't be surprised. Just remember that for our dues.
Right, definitely. I pay for this one, and well, assuming you guys don't die, probably a promotion. Which means
There's the silver lining.
higher pay on average, so there you go.
Let's go. That's right.
In any case, it is in pursuit of the completion of a job, so your discount at the quartermaster is increased, of course.
Excellent.
Just be sure to mention that to her when you get there, that it is in pursuit of a job. That is. And best I can do is wish you luck.
Is the quarter should, and I just say this out loud to everybody while looking at the party, is it too late? Should we go to the quartermaster today, or should we go rest and talk to them tomorrow?
She'll probably be open for another 40 minutes or so, give or take. So if you want to talk to her tonight, that'd be great. A quick question for Sarah over here. Are you wearing that,
No.
Okay.
No, not yet. That's just in my bag because I am aware it's fresh.
Would the quartermaster have my item ready that I ordered before I left?
Do you remember how long ago you ordered it? If it was immediately before you left, probably not. But if it was before that, maybe... Oh, wait, hold on. How long has it been? It was like 5 days, a day, and then like 4 days back. It's been like 10 days, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's entirely possible she could
yeah.
have it ready if it's been about 10 days since you ordered it. Any longer, she almost definitely has it.
I thought it was like 6 days to Miner's Folly, so it'd be more like 12 total, right?
Well,
Yeah.
it was
There and
6
back.
days on the way there.
Because you
Well,
didn't
wound up being
have a
7.
horse.
And then
what?
we stayed overnight, then it was 4 days back.
Right.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
like at least 2 of the days you did not have horses, so then you
Yeah.
did, and then you ran into
Yeah.
a tree, and it was a whole thing.
Yeah, so I think it wound up being 12 days total with the sort of wibbly wobbly forest, and then
Right, the wibbly wobbly forest. You are correct. So that would have added like a day, almost a full day. That is correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, closer to 12 days. Oh, almost definitely ready.
aha, notes.
That's what we do. Okay.
Yeah. So if you guys want to head over that way, and I think Aya just turns to you guys and goes, "Well, again, thank you for all your help, but I'm going to go sleep for about 3 days. Good luck. Don't die."
I put
Corwin
my
goes,
I
shakes
put
her
my
hand.
I'm sorry. I put my hand on her shoulder and asked her if she would like a nice tea with honey to help her get to sleep.
Actually, that sounds quite nice. Yes, please.
Okay.
Corwin would have just shaken her hand and said something nice.
It's something.
A
Something
pleasure,
nice,
A
be
pleasure
well.
working with you,
Yeah.
or something similar. I think the only one of you that probably would have been to the quartermaster. No, actually, Helena, you probably would have too, almost definitely. So half your party has met the quartermaster. Her name is Nifix Broadstone. She goes by the nickname Badger the majority of the time, and that's just pretty much what most people call her. And when you guys are ready, you can head over there. Unless you're
What was her
gonna,
last name?
Broadstone.
Broadstone.
Unless you're gonna go have tea with Aya for a while, in which case you can go do that instead.
Well, I'm gonna do that and then go see her.
So the rest of the party is gonna head over there. You're gonna be having tea with Aya, right? And then head over there.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So we're going to quartermaster,
Sounds
Yeah.
like it.
and I haven't met this person, right? I'm in that half of the party.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you come in. She is standing on top of the counter and is putting like a sword on a rack. She is, excuse me, she is a gnome with black hair and a white streak down the center of it, like all the way down past her butt. And she is just puts that sword up. The like little bell rings, like they have on shops. It's like ding 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 as you walk in. And she goes, yes, we're just about ready to wrap up for the night. Well, I say we, I mean me. And she turns and sees the three of you. How can I help you? And she just sort of like hops down off the counter.
Can Corwin tell? Like, Corwin wants to greet her as a fellow gnome, but also wants to know whether it's appropriate to how informal to make the greeting. Like, basically, I want to know: can he do an insight to know whether he should do how warm of a welcome to this brand new person, simply based on a familiarity race-wise? Does that make sense?
I think you're speaking like culturally.
Yeah.
How do gnomes who don't know each other typically greet each other?
Specifically in this area too. Like if he's never met her.
Right. Right. So like insight would be how she would take whatever greeting, whereas like lots of history today. History would be more like how the local culture, how they would normally greet each other, and I think that's what you're asking. Like how the local culture would greet each other. So if you want to give me history for that, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll go. So
it's one of those things. A warm greeting is like preferred. You know that for sure, and I think the level of how warm that greeting is where you fail the check, right? So it's up to you. If you're overly warm or like not enough. I'll let you decide that.
Right, I think I would just hold my hand up, say hello, and kind of not run in, but with haste, sort of approach her, hand out, looking for a handshake, expecting it, kind of like, I'm Corwin Notwise. How are you? Who are you doing?
Yeah, she kind of looks at your hand and she does shake your hand and she goes, well, you can call me Badger, and I'm the quartermaster here. It kind of seems like she's relatively easygoing, so if there was anybody to mess up on, it was probably her, kind of thing. And she goes, welcome to the Broken Cross Quartermaster. So it's a relatively small room, but it is lined wall to wall with shelves, like even all the way up to like the 12-foot high roof has like weapons like on racks hanging up there.
Right.
They made wonderful use of the space that they had. On like the sides of each floor to ceiling of weapons, there's like a small gap, but it's just like about yay big. I will say.
Nice. Corwin loves it here more than anywhere else in the outpost. He prefers to be in the forest, or somewhere like this.
Fair enough.
So he's feeling it. He's feeling good.
What is it that I can help you guys with? Is there anything in particular you're looking for? Give me a perception check, Sar.
Alrighty.
Actually, all of you can give me a perception check, just, different reasons.
Still not rolling all that great.
Ooh, yeah, not great rolls today.
Pretty good. I will say that, Liz, you do notice that behind you guys, where you guys came in, on either side of the door is like a shelf that has that's just like lined with healing potions. But again, it's like behind you guys, so you probably wouldn't notice until you were on your way out if you hadn't been looking around and saw it. Other than that, you see numerous bows, both and she like motions to this side. She's like, this side we have more expensive magical goods, and on this side we have non-magical goods, certainly less expensive, but less effective. Again, is there anything in particular you're looking for?
I think Corwin would quickly explain. Well, we're looking to upgrade. We need to upgrade our stuff for a job. If you're open long enough, I don't know how quickly we could do that. If you're closing, perhaps we can come back in the morning. And I look at the group like...
Sar's face visibly sinks when the word morning is uttered.
Oh.
No, I've got nowhere that it's necessary to be, so if it takes a little bit of time, I'll just close the door and let you guys finish. As in, not take anyone else, although, given the hour,
Excellent.
I'm not sure anyone else is going to arrive. Well, you guys arrived, so who knows?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we've got quite a involved, risky mission ahead of us, so we need to make sure that, well... Siphon just like pulls out his sickle. Things like this, taps it against the one of the
Just like the open areas of the wall.
The wall or a shelf. Just doesn't cut it when you're facing flaming magical people.
Right. That sounds like it could be an issue. So are we looking for and she like motions to each of you like something to upgrade from the sickle, maybe another sickle, a bow and a sword, a rapier and a shield, like what are we talking about here?
I look around the room and try to see if what I'd like an upgrade to my armor. I'm currently in a chainmail. I could use, or a chain shirt. I could use a scale mail upgrade if I could. Just look around for magic armor.
Yeah, we got the non-magical side and the magical side. So Scott, I think you and Mothership are the only one who get this reference. In the room I was in before this is 7 feet wide and 50 feet long. And I was in that room for like the majority of like when we were playing Adventures in Orlon. For the majority of that time. This room is like that long, but like twice as wide. So it is just lined with weapons and armor.
Excellent.
So that's the kind of vibe that we're going for here. And she goes, if you're looking to upgrade to scale, we've got the magical scale. And she like just like skitters further back in the room and like motions to the magical scale and the non-magical scale. Whichever it is you'd be more inclined to purchase. So we got +1 scale mail.
How about mithril scale mail?
Pricey mithril, yeah, we can do that. We got some of that. Might take a couple hours to cinch it up for you. It is a magical material, and you're much like myself, smaller than average, so some minor adjustments. It wouldn't even cost you extra. Just take some time.
Sounds good to me.
But if you're looking for mithril in your size, we can do that.
That would be lovely. Also, something like a +1 rapier. Or, I guess I wouldn't say +1.
Just like
A magic rapier.
Yeah, certainly. We got a few options, and it's like we got this one, which is just like much like you said, magically enhanced to strike truer and harder, which I think the exact phrase that the guy on the ring telephone, the exact phrase that he used was something that's like strikes true. So that was like the exact phrase that he used. So we have that. We also have a number of these. We got a lot of these quick blade weapons. We've got quick blade rapier, quick blade short sword, lots of quick blade weapons. And basically, what they do is they're +1 weapons, like sort of going a little meta here, that they do require attunement, unlike most +1 weapons. But if you miss, you can use a bonus action to attack again. And if you miss, you can use a reaction to attack again. But only if you miss. And we got tons of those. Anything from short swords to daggers to rapiers. And then, yeah, like I said, the standard +1 stuff. I'm trying to get to my catalog here.
Are there quick strike bows?
I mean, there is an equivalent. There's the quick shot bow. It's the same thing, but a bow. Let's see. I think in terms of rapiers and swords, that's mostly what we got. We used to have some other wider varieties, but we haven't gotten anything of that nature in a while. So just mostly the quick blades and the standard +1 stuff. Again, a little meta, but you get the point.
Yeah.
What's the price difference? Are the quick blades more expensive?
Yeah, the quick blades are just like a hair more expensive. So let me see my math here. So since you're asking directly about prices, it's here somewhere. Hold on. Come on now. There we go. So are you asking specifically about a rapier or a bow? Sorry.
Yes, but also just in general is the quick shot. I forget what you're calling it.
A quick shot bow.
Are they just all generally the quick ones more expensive than the non? But also +1, the regular +1.
So they are slightly, yeah.
Okay. And I guess, sure, what about the bow and the rapier, the specific prices?
So if you're talking about like a quick blade rapier, the specific is... Come on now. I should have organized this better. So that would be this number here. Nope. Yep. So... I knew what weapons you guys were using, and I didn't figure out the exact price for the exact weapons you were using that you would probably want the exact upgrades of. Yeah, so you're talking about 290 gold for a +1 rapier, or you're talking about math is hard. 440. No. Sorry. Math is so hard. 480 gold pieces for the quick blade. I think that's right. Just gonna open a calculator.
Just in general, are the bows more expensive than that? Probably. Like a longbow +1 versus longbow quick shot longbow.
Sorry, more expensive than what?
The rapier.
And the blade equivalent.
Yeah.
293 for a +1 rapier. There, I did it.
293 for a +1 rapier?
293 for a +1 rapier.
Okay.
And this one is... Whoops, that's not how that works.
I should find out the price of that armor, too.
Oh, it is 343 for... It's only 50 gold more for the...
Oh, okay.
For the quick blade.
How about the armor? I think that's what will dictate for me more than anything what I could do. Mithril scale mail.
The bows are 13 more gold.
Okay.
In both instances. As for the armor is more expensive. So it is going to be skill mail, you said? Mithril skill mail?
Yes. Yes.
765 gold.
Okay.
For the mithril armor.
Gotcha. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Polly was doing that and asking all the questions of the quartermaster. Saul have just been sort of browsing up and down. Like, sickles are a bit more of a niche item, so like, if ever coming across one, just sort of like picking it up and having a little play with it. Also, sort of like
magic side, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely find a moon sickle. You definitely find that. You sort of like flipping around your hands. You also find a if you're specifically looking at sickles, you find another one that's that appears to have the actual blade itself almost looks like it's fiery, but then the interior of the blade looks like it has like icicles. If that's something that you would be curious about.
Yeah. Upon seeing that, he'll say, yeah, Corwin, you said that they seemed a bit resistant to ice, right?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like some sort of fiery, icy sickle. So,
a fiery icicle,
if you will. The pun was right there. I missed it.
I like that. You're gonna name it, right? Hi, I'm here.
Hi here.
Yeah.
Oh, I wave at her.
I come through the door. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you're sort of like looking at the sickle and asking Corwin directly a question, it seems, Badger sees you come in. I tell her, and she goes, yes, your item is ready. So,
Good.
Just to confirm, you wanted the you wanted the normal stones to appear as a honeycomb rather than flowers, correct?
Yes.
Oh yes, we have that just here. And she like just like little tiny legs like all the way to the back of the room. Opens the door and she's like, "1 moment," and she goes back and comes and it's like a minute before she comes back with the staff, which is right here. Yeah, she places it on the counter at the back of the room. So it is normally a glowstone petal branch, which is what you had ordered, but you had the petals turned into little bits of honeycomb, and there it is. It is done as requested, and I think I gave you the wrong price earlier when we talked about it. I think I said something along the lines of 360. I think you had written it down. Do you remember?
Okay, I put a down payment of 50 gold pieces for her to do the work, and then 310 more. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I'm saying I think I gave you the wrong amount earlier.
Okay.
I'm just double checking my math, that's all. It is a bit off.
Where are we off?
It's 420 more, not 360 more. Which you should still have enough to do. That's my mistake. I apologize.
Right, but I say that it's worth every gold piece. Thank you.
You just set down 400 every gold piece.
No.
Clatters.
And I have another thing for you to do when after you get theirs all done.
I mean, I can put anything on order, whether or not it's going to be viable and within words within your price range. That's kind of the question. Anyway, yes. So did Corwin answer your question? I assume.
It was less of a sort of needed answer question, more just sort of while checking these things out, sort of
Sorry, what was
cross
the question?
between talking to himself and just verifying you said that they seemed a bit resistant to ice because this one
Correct.
seems to be fiery and icy.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, and Badger, this sickle here, I assume this is magical with the ability to inflict extra fire or ice damage, or is it something else?
Specifically, that is a again meta here, a +1 sickle that requires attunement and has the ability to when you cast a spell that deals fire cold damage, the weapon itself deals that same damage type as an extra d6 for a minute. So
Gotcha.
it's versatile.
Yeah.
A little extra fire damage, a little extra cold damage. It's there. I think it also has once per day it can cast one of two spells. I believe it's Burning Hands and I don't know what the other one is actually. Something involving ice, I assume.
Yeah.
It's also a lot more expensive than the other sickles, if that's any help.
Yeah. Also, how about this one? And picks up the other one that he was sort of playing with. The on the magic side.
Oh yes, that is more inclined to those who follow nature and kind of enhances their magic in a way. Rather effective. We have a shocking number. Maybe not that shocking. A number of rangers and druids that come through here. I suppose this this is a pass, if you will, a crossing to lots of forest. So going to and fro, I suppose. And they might just want to pick up that kind of thing. We've had so many requests for it. We kind of got a couple of them, and most of them sold out pretty quick. That's the only one we got left of that. And yes, it is a moonsicle specifically.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised your stock's so low. Seems like a easy one to sell. So, I assume you're doing it at a appropriate price.
I mean, usually. No, it's more that we haven't gotten more in. There weren't any in the last shipment. Apparently, they take a little bit more effort to make than the others. Not that I know anything about that. I just sell things. I don't make things.
So
Perish
what
the
are
vine.
you expecting for this?
That one with your discount, since you're on a job and you are.
Yes, and it's a very important job. Like, they made sure to say how we'll be getting a proper discount.
470 gold.
So it just sort of swings it about a bit more. I've seen better, but it's not the worst. So at least it's not the city prices. That would be ridiculous.
Those are outrageous, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I think because you guys are sort of like looking around, you see, and now I'm remembering, I forgot to mention it, Liz sort of hanging like on a hook above each of the sides of the healing potions. Like each of those shelves on a hook above it is it's a bag of holding, very nicely and neatly labeled, so you know what it is. But yes, I mean, I certainly think they're fair prices. I wouldn't be charging anything but a fair price. Of course, there's always discounts to your friends. Not that I think we're friends quite yet, are we? What's your name again?
Oh, it's Sar. We've met, I think, only like once or twice before. But yes, always good doing business here.
In passing, I'm sure. And I certainly don't think I overcharged you for anything then, did I?
I can't say you did. No, it was lovely shopping here when I get the chance. Cash flow is sometimes the hardest thing to manage, though.
Well, I'm glad to have you back, and I hope you pick up something you're gonna find useful. Might save your life someday. You never know.
Would it make
And
sense
on that-
for... Sorry, guys.
I was just going to say, on that note, do you have much in the way of sort of items that are more for utility for travel? Because right now Sar's, I guess, deep in the just weapons and whatnot section, far from the door with the healing
Right.
and whatnot.
Utilities for travel. What do you have in mind? Anything in particular?
Oh, you know, things like making things easier to carry and not having to concern yourself so much with your resource management, depending on the weather, that sort of stuff.
Well, over by the door, we've got some bags of holding. If you're talking about carrying more things and such.
Ooh,
You know,
by
as for
the
anything
doors.
else, I really don't think you'd be able to afford the majority of our travel items.
Well, maybe later, like out of curiosity, if I do get more funds, what are your, I guess, luxury ones by the sounds of it?
Well, I've got this one that I keep with me at all times, and she like reaches in her pocket and pulls out like a little black figurine of a fly, and you're like, what the heck is? Well, see, this when activated turns into a giant fly, and you know you can climb aboard and fly. It's quite fast, don't you know?
Okay, I am laughing, but go ahead.
It's very quick. Also, it's reusable, so not cheap. She puts it back in her pocket. Certainly something I don't think you could afford anytime soon.
I mean, can we rent it? Like,
I mean, if you die, I have no way to get it back, I'm afraid.
So,
I mean,
Fascinating item.
I'd
Yeah.
certainly be disappointed to lose such a thing. Oh, the last one that I sold, they said that it cut their travel time by more than half, which meant they could do twice as many jobs. So, there's something to think about.
It is something to think about.
Yeah.
Yes. It is a bit conspicuous, though. I might imagine a giant fly flying in.
That's
Yeah,
probably
but
true,
you can
yes.
fly over a mountain, or not have to do all the roads.
Yeah, just
Oh yeah,
fly
yeah.
over.
Not that there's a problem with being conspicuous.
Oh no, not at all.
How much are those bags of holding? Like, what's a bag of holding cost?
Bag
For
holding
us, with the discount.
is with your discount, 540 gold.
Wow.
They hold a lot. They hold a lot. I mean, technically, they could hold both of us. And she motions towards you and her, Corwin.
Yeah.
Actually, more than I think.
Yeah.
4 of us, maybe.
Yeah, I'll have to get one next time. I'll just have to slug it with, carry the. I think I'm going to be up to 70 pounds on me with the scale mail. Although, I don't know, maybe the weight is different on a magic mithril version.
Something to discuss. To clarify.
I was going to say earlier, would it make sense? Because I'm sitting here wondering to myself, trying to decide whether it would make more sense to go with a bow or a rapier, knowing that I have primal savagery. So, I can make my attack, my melee, a magic attack.
Sure.
Just inherently. So I don't need the rapier to make my melee attack a magic attack when I can use primary, or primal savagery. So maybe the bow. But I was also thinking I don't need a magic bow. I just need magic ammunition to actually make my ranged magical damage.
Yeah, technically speaking.
And my original question is, would it make sense for Corwin to wonder this out loud to everybody in this room? I think it's in his nature to do something like that, but
It sounds like it.
It's also in his nature to not necessarily do something inappropriate. So, you know what I mean? And if he would wonder that out loud, then he would. And what would everybody say? Basically, should I take a bow or a rapier? I'm wondering. But
well, you haven't looked at the bows yet. If that helps, that might narrow down your choices. You kind of just asked about a bow. They're over there.
that's true. Well, let's say that. What kind of bows do you have for less than? I think I got about 400 gold to spend on something after the armor.
Well, quite a few actually.
Beyond the quick blade, are there any other bows besides a quick shot bow or a +1 bow?
Yes, there are 2 alternatives to the quick shot and +1 bows. Their prices are different, as in different than the +1 bow. Excuse me. 50 gold more, give or take. You have the twin shot bow, which is a +1 bow that allows you to once per short rest duplicate a piece of ammunition and and fire it at a second target within 10 feet of the first or the same target.
Okay.
It's pretty decent because it has the same attack roll as the first piece of ammunition. So do with that what you will. That one is 50 gold more than a +1 bow, and then you have the Swiftwind. The Swiftwind bow, which is a +1 bow. It is capable of. I'm having trouble with my words. I apologize. It can cast haste on you once per long rest without the need for concentration, but at the end of that minute that it lasts, it loses its magical bonus.
Until the long rest is done, or permanently?
Oh, until the long rest. Sorry.
Yeah. Single-use bow.
So it's
Right.
+1. You can cast haste on yourself for a minute, and then at the end of that minute, it loses the +1, but still functions as a normal bow. It is 20 gold more, rather than 50.
What was the first one called?
Twin shot bow.
Twin shot bow.
It does not lose its magical effect after twin shotting.
I think I would take that one, but I'm almost, I don't know. What's the downside to the twin shot, really?
Requires attunement.
Whereas a +1 bow just doesn't.
Just doesn't. I mean, if it's enhancing your arrows you're looking for, we also have a magical quiver that increases the damage of your arrows, so long as they've been inside it for at least 10 minutes. But it halves their range, you know.
And the range of the bow.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think my comfortable range with the longbow is like 150, so it'd be 75.
Yeah, but it makes them deal 1 additional die of damage.
And makes them considered magic.
Yep.
The ammunition.
It makes. I mean, it straight up makes them +1 arrows.
That's a quiver?
That's a quiver that does that, yeah.
What's the price on that?
The quiver is 270.
270? That's very attractive. I'm keeping my eye on that. What did that have a name? Quiver of?
It's a weighted quiver because kind of makes your arrows weigh more, so they do more damage and they don't go as
Weighted.
far. Yeah, weighted
Gotcha.
quiver. And I think that's it for the ranged options they have here. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I would thank her, and I think I've made my choices. But if I wouldn't hold her attention. So if somebody else wanted to,
When you're ready, you can just wait at the counter. Are all of you paying together? She kind of like shouts to the person who already paid. Now that I think about it, because you already gave her the money for your custom weapon.
Star's paying for us, right?
Sars also with Helena, I think, is also at the door with the potions and whatnot.
I believe
and
that's
the
where she
bags
was,
and
yeah.
things. So I'll call from the door. Group discount, right?
I think she kind of looks over at Itella and goes, "Are you in that group?"
Am I muted?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought it was muted. Anyway, hi. Yes, I am in the group, and I look at Sar. We want her.
And Sars looking at the wall.
I'm still looking at you. We want her to be able to make a living, so she's always here.
I think she was saying that to you, Sar, right?
Yeah.
That was directed at Sar.
Yeah.
Oh, directly. I'm looking at him.
Yeah.
Not that he knows
And,
that.
yeah, Sars and sort of just turns his head over a bit just while looking and sees out of the corner of his eye Itella looking directly out. Yeah, but I mean, big payments, so what's fair is fair. We'll pay what's fair.
I'll tell you what. If your group together spends at least 3,500 gold, I'll give you an extra 10% discount.
I think we got that.
Yeah, I think we do.
I'm
we could do
spending-
that.
I think right now 1035. So I'm 1,000 gold from me.
Okay.
And you've kept yourself rather quiet, Helena. Anything you're interested in?
Give me all your potions.
So, which things are you getting for Corwin?
My choices were going to be the quiver and the scale mail, the mithril scale mail.
Okay, because I feel like I would have heard you guys talking about the bows and kind of listened, because that's what she likes.
Sure.
What was the other one besides the twin shot one?
Okay, so there are three. It's the quick shot, which was the one you guys talked about at the beginning. It's the twin shot, and then it's the swift wind.
Swift wind. That's.
Those are the 3 bows.
How much is the twin shot?
The twin shot should be. Do I still have
You
it?
said
50 GP more than the +1.
right,
Yes.
which was
And the
306. So it'd be
+1 was
360,
13 GP more than the quick blades, which were 293.
356.
Quick maths. 3 is.
Yeah, it would be about 350.
356.
About
yeah.
356. Yeah. give or take.
Okay.
A silver here and there.
We all said
Pennies, really.
356, so it's definitely 356.
Yeah, 356
So-
for the twin shot, and 336 for the
So-
swift one.
Could I get the twin shot one, and then I think like hearing what the bag of holding was, she would have been excited. Even though nobody knows because of the fence thing.
Yeah, excited, but why? Yeah, you could I think you could afford the twin shot and a bag of holding, right?
Yeah.
Probably without issue, and maybe even another thing.
Yeah, I think that's what you said, 550. So 360, 356, and 550. 906.
540.
Bag of holding was 540. But yeah.
Oh, 540.
Mm-hmm.
So
Even
8,
more
8,
things to buy.
Yeah. You still have like 200-300.
Said 356.
Yeah, 356
Yes.
For the bow, the twin shot bow, and then 540 for the bag of holding.
And 540.
If you want to write down that you're getting those.
Yeah, I have 443 left.
Nice.
Be enough to get another weapon if you wanted, potentially. Some potions, stuff like that.
I think any, based on the rapier, any +1 like sword would be totally affordable.
I also will say that you did, while you were spending the most time of anyone staring at that wall with the potions, you did notice a few other things, including an alchemy jar.
Nice.
Excuse me. You saw an amulet sort of like hanging next to the bags of holding. Probably stuff you could not afford, but it's there. And on the other side, so where Sar is now, I'm sorry, Scott. There you see like hanging there a robe with a bunch of patches on it. Like at the bottom it says like robe of useful items and stuff like that. But I think that's everything that you see. Mostly it's just that you were there. That's why you saw it, not because I think you want or can afford it. But yeah. So there you go.
Could I ask about the amulet just out of curiosity?
So that amulet, when you find yourself falling, basically when you are brought to 0 hit points and you'd be normally making death saves, it stabilizes you. And when you rest and recover hit points using what are they called? The hit die? God, I'm really having brain today. No, I think the problem is I'm not having brain today. That's the problem. Basically, when you use hit dice to recover hit points at a short rest, you heal twice as much. That's what it does. It's about 810 gold. So, I think outside of your remaining monies, but
Yeah.
Something to remember for next time.
Mm-hmm.
Has everybody got what they want?
Yeah, well, Sar's going to ask about the cost of the alchemy jar that's labeled there.
Yes. So we had so many requests for an alchemy jug, we decided to make a smaller variation there. That's 360 gold for that. And I can hold about a fourth of what an alchemy jug could, just because I know you had that information. And if it produces less than, I think it's a quarter of a liquid, then the jar can't produce it. Which I think only applies to the poison, right? Maybe. It's a lot of information I have, so I'm running over myself with it. Being forgetful. So something to that effect, yeah. Other than that, it's basically exactly the same.
And also, was there just the one bag of holding there, or were there
Two. There were
several?
Two. There were exactly two.
Yeah. I'm just gonna do some quick maths, but
I would definitely let her know I'm taking the weighted quiver and mithril scale mail and pay for that.
oh, sorry. How much did you say was the alchemy jar?
The alchemy jar is 360 gold.
Okay. All right.
Did she say it would take days for them to procure the scale mail, or hours?
Oh,
Hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she was talking about adjusting it to fit.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
properly.
it's a fitting.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Sar never put down the moon sickle. He was just sort of continuing to just like flip it around while browsing other stuff, and actually, yeah, and he's also going to ask, and these, I assume these are just regular and greater healing potions that you've got here.
Yes, indeed. They're actually on either side. There are 8 healing potions and 2 greater.
And how much are we talking for each of those?
I knew it. I've been thinking constantly that I should drop the cost for the healing potions in here, and I forgot. I keep thinking about it, and then I just don't do it. Hold on. Is there a way I can do this without screwing up the whole stream? Is that doable?
Oh, well, if you're thinking about dropping the prices, how about this round's free?
Well, I don't know about that one. Oh my gosh. Nope, it's not coming up. I'm not going to be able to just drop it in. Somebody remind me to do it later. I can't believe how many times I've been like, I should do that, and then I just don't. But yes, that is what's sitting in front of you. I think one thing you will note, probably Scott more than Sar, they don't have any like other types of potions. It's just healing potions.
Sure, yeah. To be honest, with what I'm thinking, I'm right at the edge of my money.
Fair enough.
So we'll maybe the 10% discount or something. Like once it's all added up, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's true. Not including that, but
Yeah, but you don't want to spend it all.
So
Set aside.
with your guys' discount, each of those with the normal discount, not the extra discount, if you guys spend 3,000 gold, 3,500, I believe is what she said.
Yeah,
they're 45 each for the healing potions, and then the greater healing potions are, math is hard, 90 each. All right, so well,
and that's without the sort of staff discount, as it were. The not staff discount, but the
group discount.
Working in that place discount.
No, that is with the discount. That's with the.
Oh, sure, gotcha. Oh, of course, yeah, because it was 55 at minus folly.
Yeah, well, that was a 10% markup. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Figure out if that's everything you want. I'll be right back.
All right. Yes. So, Sar sort of grabs both the other bag of holding and the alchemy jar off the side and says, "How about you lot? You found everything you want?"
I think I'm ready to go. I might pick up a couple potions, basic healing potions. I mean. I think
Yeah,
that
wouldn't
science is
hurt to have a
45.
few more that don't make us grow to gigantic sizes. Looks over at Helena.
Corwin's eyes
Uh,
go wide. Wait, there's some of those here? Could try one of them.
We still have some.
yeah, we've.
Nice.
I think we wound up having like 6 total from our looting, and only one's been used.
2.
Oh,
'Cause we
2.
tested
Oh,
it.
was it? Oh, of
Mm.
course, yes. 2 have been used.
Okie dokie. Let's go. What'd you guys decide on?
Sar's getting the sickle, the jar, and the other bag of holding.
Ooh, money.
Yeah.
Ooh, money. Okay.
Corwin's gonna get the weighted quiver, the mithril scale mail, and was gonna try to grab 2 basic healing potions. I think you said there were 45 apiece, so 2 of those.
Yep.
Just let me know how much that cost total. Or I had 1035, but that was before the 10% discount.
Well, don't count the 10% discount yet.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Because the 10% discount is harder to apply if you apply the 10% discount before. Like, because you have to reach the 3,500 threshold to get it.
But how about we apply it 3 times?
Yeah, if each of you could add up your what you're spending, let's head over to Ayatella, who
Hello.
I believe picked up and paid for your item.
Yes, but
But-
I told her I wanted to order something.
Yeah, if you want to order something, that's fine. You could also, buy extra stuff while you're here, but that's up to you. What
Well,
you
I'm
doing?
looking for the studded leather.
You are looking for the studded leather.
+1 studded leather that has a special ability. Then that's what I was going to pay for extra to have done.
Did we talk about this? Why am I drawing a blank?
To help with stealth.
Oh, I forgot all about that. Yeah, you can order that. That's fine.
Yes,
Oh my
order
gosh.
that.
Okay, let me see how much that would cost. I can't believe I forgot about that. That's... You know what? It's a bad brain day. That's fine.
And that's fine.
Alright, let me get my math going on here. So, additional effects. 70. $615 gold to order that, and you have to put at least 50 gold down right now.
Right.
So you can write down how much that's going to cost when it comes in, and then that you put 50 gold deposit on it. And
Yep.
is there anything you wanted to buy in the meantime?
Okay, so I paid for my order. The only thing I would want more than that would be potions. But all she has is healing potions, and
I mean, it'll be at least 7 days before she gets that, like a bare minimum of 7. And
yeah,
you guys
I
aren't
know.
going to be here. You're not going to be back in 7 days anyways. So
Right, I know. It is a problem.
I'm basically asking you if there's anything you want in the meantime.
Yeah, I better get better armor then.
I mean, assuming you have the money for it, right? I don't know how much you have left after all that. I mean, if you're only putting 50 down right now, you probably have enough to get like +1 studded leather.
Well, I paid $350 for the staff, right? That's all I spent.
didn't we? I'm confused.
Oh, the staff wound up being a bit more expensive than initially planned.
Oh, that's
it
right.
wound up being a down payment of 50 and then 420 additional.
Yeah.
So you've spent 420 this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so far you spent 420 and then an extra 50 for a down payment on the new armor.
So that's 470. Okay.
That is what you spent. I was asking how much money you have left after that.
I have to subtract. Hold on.
Math.
No, I have 800 left, so I'm not worried about it.
With 800 left, you could get 1 potion and plus 1 studded leather. And that would
There we
be
go.
pretty much all your monies.
Okay. I'm actually just going to put all the money on the counter. All of my money on the counter. And all I want is the potion and the armor. And just say...
Be sure to write it down.
Write what down?
What you're buying.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I just don't see any reason to carry this with me. You could probably use it more than I could right now.
Spends $750, puts $750 on counter, acts like it's charity. No. I mean,
Driving the others nuts, I'm sure.
Yeah. How about that's at least like on her tab? His tab. Sorry.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so what are our totals for everyone? That's about 1,200 from Itella, but the pre-order item, or whatever you want to call it, the ordered item, does not count. Because that was a previous order. Yeah. So
I'm 1145
65
total.
Okay, let me look here. I'll bring up the calculator. So say it again.
1145.
1145. Sart.
1370.
All right. What are you at, Helena, for what you're buying?
I spent $896.
Okay. All right, y'all reached the threshold. So whatever each of you spent, you get 10% of that back.
Gotcha.
I wanted to do it that way, otherwise we'd have to figure out who it went to, and that'd be just
Totally.
confusing.
Yeah.
Well, if there is nothing else, I will say, did you want to sell your old sickle and sell your current armor, Corwin?
You mean rapier? Oh, I didn't upgrade the rapier. So the sickle. Yes, on my armor.
It's Saw's sickle, and yeah, he'll be selling that back.
Yeah, and yes on my armor. Which is just a chain shirt. So I'll be selling it.
So, sorry, you get all of 5 silver.
I've not had any silver.
Silver! Oh my god, what is this? I believe...
Like, when paying those looters, he didn't have anything less than a gold on him.
You know what, that's fair. And it's a chain shirt you're selling, right?
Yes.
So you get 25 gold for that. Is anyone else wanting to sell something they're upgrading from? While you're at it.
Could I get rid of my short bow?
The previous bow you had? Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I guess, I mean, is the quiver I had worthless for... I guess I would trade that in, right? If I'm getting a replacement quiver.
Yeah, but it's literally like 1 silver. That's like
No
all you
problem.
get for it.
Gotcha.
Short bow.
I got 6 silver now.
12 gold for the short bow. And yeah, so 12 gold to Helena. Anybody else want to sell their previous armor?
Ooh, actually, just one little extra thing that I'm gonna buy. I'm just gonna buy a cheap regular dagger.
Okay.
They can come in handy.
Picking yourself up a dagger. That is hard to determine with the discount because things are weird. Oh, hey, 1 gold, 5 silver. Give me that silver back.
Yeah. No.
Fantastic.
Just gives 2 gold. No, I don't have any silver. I'll need the change.
Right, and I mean, she's like 5 silver. Puts the gold in the behind the counter. Anything else for anyone, or are y'all done? If there's nothing else anybody else wants, no,
I'm good.
All good. You guys.
I don't know if Atella has like the existing staff like that. This new one switches out.
She has a club. I tell her has
okay.
a club, but previous weapon club, new weapon staff. You can sell the club if you want.
No, really. I want to keep it just in case. I mean, it's cheap. It's
Extra
a new
bonus.
item just in case. It doesn't work
Just in
for
case
me.
things don't work out right. Sure.
Right.
Yeah, I think.
And I don't think I had armor before, did I?
I think you had either leather or studded leather. It's.
Yeah.
Yeah, but. Yeah.
Yeah. I had leather armor, just regular leather. So. Yeah.
So double upgrade, really. 5 gold pieces if you want to sell it, or you just leave it to her, since you seem to be charitable today.
Well, just add it. Just add it to my down payment.
I'll just you add the 5 gold to the down payment. Write it down.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's it for you guys, and you guys are like heading out to like the barracks floor with the different rooms. You guys have your designated room because each room has like multiple beds. But anyway, as you guys are filing out, I think you see her like literally climb up the wall and start like hanging the short bow and climb back down and hang the sickle. And you do get the distinct impression that she's probably been given the nickname Badger because she climbs a lot, and with the streak of white down her black hair, kind of looks like the back of a badger as she climbs up, hangs this, climbs down.
Hey Badger, as we're walking out the door. Hey
yes.
Badger, when you get off your ship, you want to go flying?
Do I want to go flying? I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, we could go fly over the, trees and over the town and stuff, and then come back.
Well, you certainly got me curious. All right, let's do that.
Okay.
Let me put all this stuff away. See ya. Out in the lobby. In a couple minutes.
Okay. It's a plan.
All right. And you guys file up to your rooms, those of you who are doing that. And I think that's the perfect place to take a bit of a break. So,
Excellent.
let's take a maybe roughly 10-ish minute break. Everybody get yourselves some foods and some snacks and things. And we'll be back in probably about 10 minutes, give or take. Depending on how long it takes to eat lunch. See y'all then. Enjoy the music. Alrighty. Be back in a few. Alrighty, y'all.
Hello again.
I'm ready if y'all are. I feel like it's been more than 10 minutes.
Yes, I believe.
So I'll be munching, but I'm ready to go when you guys are.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I've been
All I'm
trying
doing
to-
is fiddling about with the sort of putting weapons into my character sheet.
Yeah, same here.
I gotta do that too.
I'm not sure how to add the weighted quiver. I think I've got.
Yeah,
It's
it's these sorts of things that, like, it's more sort of persistent effects. Like, how's best to put them in? Oh, I guess in the bio there's treasure section, which might be
Okay, go on and get your Corwin. Go on your character sheet.
Yes.
Click the gear, the little tiny gear to the right of spells.
Yes.
You're looking for show global damage modifier. There's a little checkbox.
Show global damage modifier field.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Click that and then go back to core. And you scroll down.
Yes.
And you should see global damage modifier, and you're going to put weighted quiver there.
Where do I'm not seeing from core global.
Oh, I've
global
never
damage
encountered that
mod-
before.
Oh, global damage modifier. Okay. Name. Quiver.
Weighted quiver, yeah. Yeah, weighted quiver.
Got it. Damage.
Could be using a longbow, right?
Yes.
So it's a D8. You should be able to leave the critical damage blank. And you should be able to leave type piercing. Make type piercing, excuse me.
Type starts as sneak.
Yeah, that's because it's usually used for sneak attack. And then you should be able to just click the gear and it should register everything.
You spell pierce. I-B-4-E.
Yep.
I-40 except after C.
P-I-E-R-C-E. Okay.
Yes.
Something
And
to
just
that effect.
1d8 on the damage. The longbow is 1d8 plus 3 because of the...
Yeah, it only
Is it
it only increases the dice, not the actual modifier.
Okay.
I'll get you guys all that information later. Theoretically, it shouldn't be a problem not to have it this time around, but we'll see. We'll see if Sar goes and pokes the bear or something. Or Itella on whatever trip. she's
Higher
about to
wisdom
take.
than Siphon by a long shot.
But if y'all are ready.
Before we go,
Yeah.
I was gonna put in my, petal branch
There's
and the armor. Did we already change my character for these?
No, and there's a bit more to it than what we just did for Corwin. Sorry. So
Yeah, there
we
is.
will just save it for after.
Oh, okay. Well, I just typed their names and I haven't done anything else.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Alrighty, let's get back to it. And we're back. Forgive me, I'm eating, but I think what I want to start with is, as everybody's like filing upstairs to their designated barracks room, I think Helena and actually all of you share a room, now that I think about it. Well, you do now, whether you did before, because you're on a team with the tag, right? So you all share a room.
Right.
Like previously, before you got the job together, you didn't share a room. Now you do. It's just how they do things. So there's it's a decently sized room. There's the 4 beds, like one each corner, and then like the door is like dead center, and there's like the little foot lockers at the end of your bed, and then all the way at the back wall there's like a tall like wardrobe type thing. You open it up, it's like clearly where you hang weapons, that kind of thing. So that's where you guys all like shuffle back to as Itella waits in the lobby
Well, at least I know where you are. I will be sleeping with the horses. Because that's what I do.
That's fair.
Sleep well.
Uh,
Sweet dreams.
yeah, I think we over the like we've had sort of 12 nights of sleeping in rough proximity to each other. So, Atella sleeping with the horses, I think, and just on the ground,
Yeah.
I guess has become a known thing.
Yeah, just fair. It makes sense. Yeah, so Itella, you are waiting for maybe about 10, a little more than 10 minutes in the lobby. At this point, Riku is not behind the desk anymore. That's all like shuttered up. And he's off like wherever he goes to wherever his room. It's actually directly above. And Badger comes just down the stairs. She looks at you and smiles and she's, all right, so I guess we're flying.
Yeah.
Lead the way.
You've got your charm with you, right?
That's property of the shop. I can't just use that. I'm not supposed to just use that. I mean,
Oh.
I thought you were going to fly us somewhere. I'm confused.
Well, but I kind of look around the lobby. Well, come outside.
All right. She follows you.
Okay. I fly all the time, and I was excited that someone else could fly, because I want others to see what I can see when I fly. And now I go ahead and shape change into the little tiny bee.
Oh, I thought you were gonna like take me flying somewhere. Not wait. Can you even understand me when you're a bee? What?
Then I go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and change back. Well, I can understand you, but you couldn't understand me.
No, I couldn't. Were you buzzing at me?
Well, yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't speak bee, and I can't just use the ebony fly whenever I want. I'm not supposed to.
Well, how do you know it works?
Well, I mean, usually I just take people's word for it, but you kind of have a point. It is reusable. I mean, all right.
And it certainly would give you something different to look at than,
Okay.
the shop.
All right, fine. You've convinced me.
Very nice.
Just one time. But you
One
not
time.
tell anyone.
Didn't even need to pass a persuasion check.
Hey, logic wins out.
How do you know it works? Nice.
And much like she described, she pulls it out of her pocket. You kind of get the impression she's supposed to hold on to it because it's one of the more valuable things. And she just like, it's kind of hard to tell. You're not sure what she does. She does something, and it just went, and it's like the size of a vehicle, right? It's bigger than the cart you guys came in on, and it's just this like fly made out of like black stone. And she goes, I mean, apparently that part works. Hop on. Okay, where are we going?
Wow.
I'm picturing the volume of the buzzing.
No, I think that's a great point because like she's like, where are we going? And sorry. And I tell her, do you just like point towards the mountain or like what do you do?
Yeah, what's the mountain?
You just point towards the mountain, and it starts to flap, and it's like, and the horses are like, like the windows are rattling, and you guys see this giant fly go by the window.
Oh, it's me on it?
It's got Badger, and I tell it on the back of it. It's just like bzzz, like the rattling of the windows as it goes by. And they're off. So the heads up, I can hear myself.
Well, I don't know why.
I don't want to hear me either, so it's fine. So they're off. What are the rest of you doing?
I mean, how many hours would it be before it's like normal to rest?
Oh, it's downtime hour, right? Like as you're winding down before you go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the hour it is, yeah.
Okay, I think I'd just be familiarizing myself with the new purchases and you know, bedding down.
That's fair. As a reminder for me,
Saw only really starts waking up at this sort of time of day properly.
Be a night person. Welcome to my life. All right. So, what is? Just remind me. Sar bought 2 potions, right?
No, didn't wind up getting any potions. Got
did.
the alchemy jar, the moon sickle, and bag of holding.
Corwin got 2 basic healing potions.
Okay, fair enough. So, I think my question was: are you gonna the bag of holding, folks? Are you transferring things into your bag of holding as you're winding down?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think solidly like the first hour here, Sal will be basically doing inventory management of moving things into or not the bag of holding.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then after that, as the sun starts getting probably like low, like post dusk, we'll sort of meander outside as well.
I do have
after doing some inventory management.
I do have a bit of an important
For some
question.
star watching and, I guess, massive fly watching.
I mean, I do have a bit of an important question for you. Where is it you're keeping the armor and the ring?
The ring, he'll have just put on his finger. The armor, will have been just in his backpack at first, and currently he'll just be in his leather studded that he had been in, and put that into the bag of holding for now, I think, with the intention of, upon moving on from here, starting to wear it.
Can I have a possibly retroactive point of clarification? How long have you been wearing the ring?
Okay, well, as far as I know, Sar had no... maybe with the exception of upon arrival at the outpost. Maybe with the exception of that, will not really have had much of a reason in his head to not have had it on.
Okay, then we might need to have a brief flashback moment as we have a retroactive perception check. Helena and Sar, you guys are at the like with all the miscellaneous. I think the term is wondrous items. So it's like the robe and the amulet and the potions and stuff. You two are standing on one of you's at one shelf, the other's at the other shelf. I need both of you to give me a perception check.
Perception. Okay.
They will be different DCs for each of you.
Oh. +6.
There's the rolls.
Yeah, so sorry, as you're sort of like looking at the different stuff, like you look at the jar and you put it down, at some point in that process, you and I don't think Helena actually notices. Excuse me. At some point, you spot the signet ring on your finger, and you spot the wax seal on the front of the potions, and it is the same. No, like emerald in it. It's just the sparkly bits in the crescent moon. It is like wax seal on there.
Yeah, basically the thing that I failed a history check on beforehand.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
So you at this moment realize those are the same, like, seal.
So with this sort of retroactive moment, can I? So I'll sort of put the hand with the ring on in his pocket.
Okay.
And pick up a one of the potions and say hey Badger, this seal, I recognize it. What's this seal again?
Oh, the seal? Let's see. Let me scroll down. Let me just make sure I'm in the right spot. Yes, that is the house crest of Gaelcron. They had Gaelcron's concoctions. They make a very large portion of like the healing potions and things across the southern half of this continent. Yeah. Why?
Oh no, I was just, my memory's not always with it, so I don't always. I knew I recognized it, but I couldn't put my finger on it. You know?
Yeah. They're pretty much the primary like single production house, if you will, of alchemical concoctions for the whole southern half of the continent. Lots of good stuff. We only usually supply the healing potions because they're kind of universal and kind of everyone can use them, but they make pretty much anything, you know. the concoctions to enlarge, some that let you breathe fire. Those are my favorite. Things like that. But yeah, Gaelcron concoctions. Yeah. I think when you hear the name, there's sort of like a faint memory of this like elven alchemist family, and it's just like it's very faint. Like you're like, I feel like I've heard stuff about them before, but that's about it.
Yeah. Actually, with us hearing about the enlarging potions, I'll ask. Oh, wait, hold on. Do you know if they've ever experimented with, and looks over to Helena, like massively enlarging or growing potions while healing?
I mean, not specifically. I know that they've had a number of strange side effects to other potions they've created that cause bizarre things. I mean, it's entirely possible. You probably have to ask someone who works for them. Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, I'll say, yeah, we did encounter this weird barn that it seemed like some potions there had caused some crazy growths of the plant. I was just wondering if it was connected.
I mean, it's not impossible, but they're typically not involved in agriculture in that way.
And in this conversation, Sal will have slid the ring off of his finger into his pocket before he winds up removing that hand.
Chop. No.
Nice.
No, fair enough. Yeah, that is. I think that's probably that interaction.
Not needing the extra attention.
We don't need to deal with that.
Yeah.
So there you go. Oh, we can skip back to present. Off in the distance, there's this whoa! It's just like go towards the mountain.
Yeah.
But yeah, inventory management. Do be sure to keep me apprised of where you're keeping that stuff.
Sure.
Well, anything anyone else wants to do? I think it is. I think it's probably a bit later than you guys think it is, because it was like later into the evening.
Mm.
Like they probably stay open for maybe 2 hours longer than most people, and they were closing up when you got there.
Mm.
Just for a little bit of context to like roughly how late it is. So this would be like the perfect time, Helena, for you to do your tinker check. And this will be another dexterity one as well. Ooh.
Nice.
Nice. You feel like you're making a lot of progress, and now you've moved from the thoroughly cleaned barrel. You're working on the mechanism and like sort of like on-jamming it. You get a pretty decent way for your first foray into cleaning the firing mechanism. You feel like you're sort of learning how these things function as you're cleaning it, and you're just sort of like getting the pipe cleaned, and now you're like working on the mechanism. But yeah, I think at this point everyone is aware that you're doing something with tools and a pipe. Beyond that, like they'd have to ask or observe.
What you doing with that pipe?
Didn't know if that was a genuine question.
Not really, actually.
Not
Corwin
really.
really wouldn't be. I mean, Corwin would remain aware of everything, but in this situation, wouldn't really consider it his business.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so here's a question for Itella. You are currently flying through the air, like careening up a mountain on a like huge fly. How do you feel about now?
Well, the first thing that occurred to me is in the bean farm, I can only see like 10 feet.
Yeah.
I sure hope I don't have vertigo or something. This is way more than I expected. So I am, oh my God, flying higher than a kite. No, oh my God. I am just ecstatic.
Lovely.
I have new things to draw.
Nice.
Fantastic. Yeah, so it's kind of up to you if you guys want to fly up to the top of the mountain and then back.
Well, I don't know how much time we have because I don't really want to fly after dark.
Oh, then you don't have much time at all.
Yeah.
Like, before you guys even get like a quarter of the way up the mountain, it is dark.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to do this again during the day. We need to go back. So,
I don't know that you'll be able to convince me to do this again. As there's just like right in front of the outpost.
yeah.
And you guys come to a landing, and she shrinks the thing, and she goes, "Yeah, that was fun. I mean,
Memorable.
as long as you don't tell anybody, I won't tell anybody, and then nobody's gonna get in trouble, and it's gonna be totally fine. I'll never know,
You
right?"
see Sar just in the background, just sort of staring at the sky now that it's sort of dark.
Yeah, he's just like, oh.
Okay.
Right. Oh, right. She like reaches out and puts her hand on the fly and speaks a word, like an arcane phrase, and it just shrinks back down into her hand, and she pockets it, and she goes, "Not a word."
Hey, well, I have to go get some food and have dinner, and then go sleep with the horses. I probably smell horrible from sleeping with the horses all this time.
Probably true.
Okay.
She like walks past Sar heading towards the outpost, and she goes,
and so I'll just sort of say, "Good night, Badger."
"Saw
Like
nothing.
not even like really. Yeah.
You saw nothing. Or I'll make your prices worse than city prices." And she like right through the door. Yeah, and I think that night probably comes to a close with Sar just like stargazing, then going, I should probably sleep, and heading back inside, like very sad. Yeah. So all of you guys managed to rest relatively uneventfully. I do think
Nobody fell out of bed.
I do think Sar might have had like a bit more of an eventful night's sleep than the rest of you. It's up to you how like to what severity it affected your sleep. But like the fact that you have the signet ring of like somebody from that family in your pocket is like playing on your mind, and like what you should do about it, if anything. And maybe it just makes it harder for you to fall asleep. Maybe you sleep restlessly. That's up to you. Not enough to exhaust you. Or
He's dealt with, like he's had plenty of dealings with items he shouldn't have had, or sort
True.
of so it's more the sort of with regards to that. If anything, the thoughts of okay, how big a family of this? So how like logging it might be an issue, and like because he's not really had much of an experience with the thought of actually using said items. It's more sort of like an A to B of said items. But just the sort of instinct of okay, keep it secret, keep it safe.
Yeah, and I mean you can always try and pawn it later. You could give it to someone who doesn't know what it is and let them use it, because it is useful. It is a ring of protection. So, sir, you don't need to put your face in my fashion. You don't need to do that. But yes, other than that, everybody does wake up the next morning, and it's pretty much time for you guys to come together and decide what to do and where to go.
I guess we're done. All
so will have been a bit later waking up anyway.
Right.
That's fair.
I think we're done all our business here, right? As far as we've upgraded. I don't think I have any more plans here that I can think of. Is there any reason?
I was just gonna say, I think we have to call the people. I just remembered.
Right, we should let them know. So we can do that. I guess we should wait for Sar, sleepyhead.
Yeah.
Do we want to do some breakfast? Do we want to do something first, or do we want to just call him?
I'm not in the room either.
Yeah.
Oh, does anybody know where Itella is? Besides, I mean, if we know that, I guess let's go check the stables.
She's with the horses.
Where are we right now? Did we, I mean, is this just we're waking up in the room, and whoever slept in the room is now in the room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Precisely.
Do we want to just meet somewhere? Is there an inn? Is there somewhere we would all go and eat food together?
There's sort of like
Or-
a central barracks area where you guys I'm trying to remember the term for it, like a common area. There we go.
Mess hall?
I mean, it's a common area that they sort of have it like set up to serve as a common area and a mess hall. Like there's stuff to cook your food at the back of the room, but primarily it's a common area. Because like, I think a mess hall is specifically for like eating food.
Would
Yeah.
it be more likely? I mean, is there space in the room for us to just be, have private meals? Like, I'm just trying to figure out where we would normally meet, and say everybody do their thing. Let's meet in 30.
Yeah, you'd either meet in the room or you'd meet in the common area, or if you don't currently have a job, you might meet in the lobby to get a new job.
Okay, let's meet in the common room in 30. I say that in the room, then I go and I tell that in the stables that we're going to meet in the common area in 30. And I don't know. I probably would just go to the common area or something.
It was like, I'll be there in 30 minutes, and you're like, I've been waiting.
Yeah.
I have a
I mean,
question.
Yeah.
Is there like a river, a lake, something around here?
Not really. Like not close. Not like a day's walk or something. Like you're a ways away from anything.
Is it 10-minute flight?
I don't think the bee flies that fast.
Okay.
You're just going over obstacles. You're not going any faster.
Do you
It's
just
like
need a
30
source of water, or like, is there a well here or something? I mean,
I think he wants to bathe.
Yes. I don't think they'd be very happy with me. If I
you
did the well.
never know. She's try. I mean, just
Yeah.
Just stand out back and cast create water above
nobody
your head.
minds, right?
Create
that
water.
would
It's
work.
like, ah. Yeah, it would absolutely work if you want to do that. I think you have create. I don't know. That just popped in my head. I don't even know if you have the spell.
I do have it actually.
Oh my god, that would be glorious. You want to do that?
I'm just trying to figure out if I would do it in the stall or just go out in the street.
It's totally up to you.
I have to think about this.
If you do it in the stall, you're disturbing the horses.
That is true. And then my bed is wet. So yeah.
Like, this is the important question. So do you strip first and then you walk out into the street and take a shower, or like what do you do here?
I go behind the barn.
Oh, behind the stables, yeah.
Stable, yeah, okay. And definitely take off my armor and stuff.
Sure.
But just leave, very basics on and then do it.
Fair enough. That is exactly what you do. Oh, there's like a puddle behind the stables. And then, what? Let's call it 30 minutes, and you all meet in the common area, except for Itella, because no one told Itella. Because Itella was not in the room when you had that conversation.
No, but I said, and then I went and I tell Itella.
I missed
Then
that part.
Yeah. No, I ran, told Itella that we're gonna meet in 30, and then I went and waited for them. Presumably.
Gotcha.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
That's perfectly acceptable. Yeah. So I think we would come to the part where you're all like coming into the common room. So you've been in the common room. We're about to do that. You've been in the common room for about 30 minutes. You've seen maybe 2 people pass through the common room, and part of the reason why that's weird, much like before, when you guys had no one else in the building and only you guys took the job, is because it implies that, the Gilded Coffer has a lot of jobs right now. Because normally this place would have at least 12 people in it. Just like at any given time, and they would sort of alternate back and forth between 12 people.
Gotcha.
Not including the quartermaster and the manager.
It's
But now
quiet.
there's like 2 people, which I guess technically it's 6 including you, but including you.
Right.
It's still a little strange. But you're like, business is booming, I guess.
Yeah,
Everybody's just off doing their jobs. All right.
I'd remark about it. I'd be, it's quiet.
It's like everybody's sitting down like around you at this table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean, how do we want to approach this communication? We just gonna ring them up and say, we're upgraded, what's next? Or does anybody else have any, ideas before we communicate?
Some idea about, because they knew to try to kidnap Aya, so I assume this employer of ours must have at least some idea of what this organization, because it is an organization, the number of people attacking Miners Folly, they must have some idea about them. I know they said last time that they'd send some mercenaries to slow down the thieves, but some more info on that would potentially be good.
Well, who's doing the message?
I think it's still Helena with the ring, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Last time we just kind of, if we needed a second question, the next person would ask, and so on.
Sure. So the message being sent is...
I think just say, like, we're ready. Can we know more about who we're facing?
Yeah, so I think there's definitely a long pause. Like, to the point where you're like, is this thing working? But after some time, a response comes through in that same, like, distorted, echoey... It's almost like there's three voices speaking at once. But they're sort of overlaid over top of each other. And the response comes... What information do you wish? Some I may be able to give.
That was incredibly not helpful. All the information you can give? Jokingly,
Like,
not, I mean...
Yeah. And so sort of upon Helena relaying that, say, okay, yeah. So I guess they want us to be specific. So, yeah, we need to know if they know where we should go to try to reobtain this, or if they've got an idea of how to track them down at the very least. And any information about this organization, because I don't know about you, but I don't know a thing about people who melt metal over themselves. Like, I don't even like metal.
and be specific. Use proper names.
We need to know how to kill them.
Yeah, okay, so whomever, I assume Helena again, is wanting to deliver the message, can you please give me a persuasion check along with it and tell me what you said?
Well, I think I would just ask all those things, like, who are they? How do we fight them? I can't remember all of them.
How do we find them?
How do we find them?
Yeah. Specifically, what's next? Like, in detail. all the detail you can give us.
Yeah.
Yeah. The response comes through again. They call themselves the Order of Consuming Flame. And though it may seem counterintuitive, the best way to fight them is with fire. They consider it holy, so they take it into themselves, even to their own detriment.
Them with fire.
As for where you go from here, that'll be the next message in like a minute. I mean, they have word limits, right?
Two-parter.
So it's like you can relay the first part of that before we go into the where we're going. Well, you relay the first part of that, I should say.
Okay.
The Order of Consuming Flame. And they stole our flame because they want to consume it, I suppose. But if you put 1 and 2 together, if it's a never-ending flame and they consume flame, it's like never-ending something to consume. So obviously that's probably why they took it.
Yeah, like I was assuming it was about some sort of royalty lineage stupid stuff of some noble somewhere, but it's even crazier.
Crazier than nobles? I never.
Well, at least their name is accurate. Flame consumes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right on the money. Kind of gives it away, all things considered.
Yeah.
So we need to douse their flame, and I think there's a second part message coming.
Yes. You will need to head them off at the scorched wood wall to the northeast. They find it to be some sort of holy place, despite having no hand in it.
Scorched wood wall.
That's the next message, yeah. So you can relay that.
So Itella is going very quietly, no, no, and backing up.
Can with her doing that, can Sard do potentially like a history or something check of
Oh, yeah. You guys can give me...
thought of the local area?
I mean, Helena doesn't need to. Itella doesn't need to. The other two of you can give me a history check to see if you have any idea what that is.
Nope.
I got no clue.
It is relatively recent history, too.
Thought I got the 4.
Yeah, so I mean,
Still don't know.
I suppose Helena can sort of relay the what of that if you wanted.
Yeah, well, with Itella sort of backing off as well, that will prompt Sard to ask, wait, the wood wall? I don't think I'm familiar.
What's wrong, Itella? What's going on? Why are you backing away?
I collapse on the floor and start rocking. Elena, you need to talk.
Okay.
He's consumed with memory.
I'm not sure, like, how to describe it. I know it's the area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Like where we went.
So, the scorched wood wall, when that's the area that you passed through, and inside of which is where you found Itella, as well as the dead people and the people trying to kill Itella, and the like whole charred village and all that. That's where all of that was located. Was past this like wall of trees, the center of which had been burned through. So
And we're aware that Helena and Itella have at least some history, or is this just all new to us?
I think at the least you guys know that they've worked together before.
Okay.
At the minimum.
Right.
So I think
Like knowing more would, yeah.
I think the easiest way to describe it is that's where Itella is from. That's where you found Itella, and it seems like someone used fire to destroy the wall, damage the wall, and kill the village within. Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's kind of the gist of it. It was sort of like a magical forest wall that was like preventing people from entering a cove that had a village in it.
Right.
And someone found a way to use fire to eat through that magic. That's pretty much all anybody knows. Except for Itella, who, well, is over there in the corner, actually. Itella, would you like to give me a wisdom save?
I think like is a strong word at this point.
That's fair. Yeah, it's rough. You're sort of like trying to calm down your breathing and stuff, but you certainly do not love the idea of having to go back home. But we can assume that like my sort of rough summary is more or less what Helena said to you guys. Yeah.
Okay, I take a deep breath and I say, but these guys wear armor. They're different.
In whatever direction that goes.
Different than what? Different than the people
The ones
you
that
remember?
destroyed.
Yeah, so I think the difference that's being referred to, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the ones that attacked like wore like really bulky armor, but these guys have like the armor fused onto their flesh, and it's like a very distinct difference.
They don't have sticks either.
Sticks.
Do we know where this scorched wood wall is? Does Helena know where it is?
Helena knows. Itella knows. Like,
I mean, I asked
so
Helena, do you know do you know where it is? And I
Yeah,
guess the
I
answer
do.
is yes. Yes, right. So we gotta go there now, and I'm just saying
so
this
I'll
out
sort of like
loud.
get down onto a knee to where Itella's sort of semi-fetal and are you up for this? Like,
Yeah, can you do this?
we can head off on ourselves if this is going to be too much for you.
I can't let them destroy more. We need to stop them.
I look around at everybody, so we're in agreement. We're gonna go to Scorched Wood Wall and investigate. That's the clues we have, and that's all we got, right?
I think so.
pretty much all you
How
got.
far? Looking at
Yeah.
I guess mostly Helena at this point. How far is that from here?
Probably about almost a month by road to the north.
Oh.
But again, you guys would know this. You guys could go over the mountain. I would cut it down significantly, but it's a lot more dangerous.
On foot or horseback over the mountain?
It'd be hard to go on horseback over the mountain.
Right.
That's true.
Oh, is it
Unless
sort
there
of
was like
in?
a pass or something.
It's directly north of Miner's Folly. I'm pretty sure once you scroll up there, you'll see it. It's pretty distinct
not like-
compared to the rest of the landscape.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's yeah, that bit up here, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. So, like, you've got the forest that cuts through the mountain here, right? After you get over here, you'd have to, like, go over top the mountain that way.
Yeah.
Which would cut a significant amount of time off, but be very dangerous.
Is
Either
that an
way-
option?
Huh?
I'm asking everybody, is that an option for us to do? Do we think we can do that? Cut across the mountain?
I think it would be a good idea, in particular, as like we know that our employer is already hiring additional people just to try to slow down the process of these.
You guys got at least
Order
one-
of consuming flames.
if you guys wanted, you guys have one more message. You could ask another question.
Yeah.
If you needed clarification or something. But then you could just ask again later on another day if something else comes up too. But I mean, today, you got one.
I'm just going to say the longer we wait, the more people will die. We need to go.
All right, we'll leave immediately after, this meeting. All things considered. I mean, well, after everybody's prepared, but today, this morning.
For sure.
I forget what I was going to ask.
Yeah, it just comes down if you guys want to take the safer, longer route by road, or want to take the more dangerous, shorter route by mountain.
I mean, if we're discussing it and I understand where we're going and we're going into the mountains, I don't know. I speak giant. I don't know that and actually history is one of my proficiencies. Would I know, or should I roll to see if I know whether we'd be going into giant territory?
Yeah, give
by
it a shot.
going
History.
into the motions.
In fact, give me advantage.
Okay, 21.
Wow.
Okay, so most likely you would only encounter lesser giants. So like ogres. You could easily encounter some ogres. It's possible you would encounter some cyclops, but they're fewer and farther between, but they do live in the mountains. Other than that, that section doesn't have that section of mountain does not have any other giants that live there.
Okay, and I think I would. Well, mountains is different than forest. I was gonna say, because beast is my, preferred enemy or whatever.
Sure. Oh, if you wanted to try and figure out what might live there, you guys could do that.
How about can I do another roll for would I have any foreknowledge of any especially renowned beasts in the area? Kind of, you know what I mean? Like any
Yeah.
tales
I mean,
or whatever.
if you wanted to go that route, you could do a nature check. I mean, anybody could if you guys wanted to. Just to see what, do I know of anything dangerous that lives there?
13.
Mostly just the normal stuff, right? There's different sort of mountain animals.
Mm-hmm.
The more specific answers with a 19, you know that there's lions, saber-tooth. There's definitely saber-tooth tigers up there. But there's also really, really big animals that you might have to worry about. If you piss them off, there's the giant toads that sort of live along the ridges of the mountains, giant elks, stuff like that. I mean, for the most part, just your standard animals,
right.
But they're more dangerous cousin, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing specific, it's known for having 30-foot long snakes or something, like nothing like that.
Gotcha. Well, I figure we basically relay all that information amongst ourselves, and Corwin is say we go for the shorter route. We take the risk. We just armored up. Let's do it.
I think that makes sense to me.
We'll give you guys one thing. You'll probably have to ditch the horses once you get to the mountain.
Yeah.
You guys don't happen to be able to shape change into something like a bear that could handle traversing a mountain easier and possibly also carry a gnome?
I've not
Question mark?
tried it before, but I think I probably could.
Yeah, I'll give you guys that. Like, it's not a whole steep mountain all the way. It's more like mountain, a little bit of comfy sort of plain type areas, and then mountain again. And it probably does that like 3 times before you get to the top, and then come down and sort of does that again. Again, I'm sure that has a particular name, as most things today seem to that I forget. But yeah. So that would cut at least 5 days off your journey, most likely more. What's up?
No. That sounds good.
So the line's gonna go here, and then here, and here.
Yeah.
It ends up being a lot more travel time, almost twice as much.
Right.
So it's like 15 days versus 30 if you go by road, which could be very problematic if they're going to do some weird shenanigans with the beacon of unending flame way over there on the other side of the world, or mountain, I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if that is your guys' decision, you guys can hit the road, and you guys will be to the mountain in a couple days.
We're all prepared. We've got rations for however long we need and everything. We're good to go.
Yep.
All right. I guess maybe swing by and say bye to Badger and anybody else that matters and be on our way.
And yeah, Sarah see about like buying a bit of nice all pre-prepared meat or like pre-skinned and whatnot meat to just put in his newly purchased bag of holding.
Yeah, just keep something in there.
Yeah.
Or a bag of ice to keep it cool.
Yeah.
Does that work? I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Put my bag of
probably
holding into
melt.
a refrigerator?
I mean, it would work for a certain period of time, but I
Yeah.
think it would probably melt.
Yeah, at least a little while. It's kind of the answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Like a little cooler.
Yeah.
I'll also check on Aya before we leave. Is that her name?
Yeah, Aya Wit. She, I think she's probably just sitting, looking out a window in her room. Like you knock, and she's like, "Come in," and you come in, and she's just sitting there, and she's just drinking tea, looking out the window. And she's like, "Can I help you?"
No, I was just checking on you, make sure you're okay.
Well, I certainly hope so. By the end of all this.
I just wanted to let you know we're gonna go get him.
I'm sure you will. But hey, try not to get yourself burned while you're playing with fire.
Really?
Good luck.
Wasn't.
Fair enough. Anything else anyone got before you take off and we end?
Actually, I mean, I forgot. Actually, I totally forgot. In the Badger, was there any special ammunition for arrows?
Yeah, there was.
For instance, just as no discount, obviously at this point, but just out of curiosity, if there was like a few arrows of Gosh, why am I blanking on it?
There were definitely some exploding arrows and variations thereof, that kind of thing.
I'm also thinking, I'm trying to think of what would be good against flame, like dousing, these guys, basically. I meant to do this earlier. Um, is there any, what kind of ammunition is there,
So we
basically?
were also told that they are weak against flame, even though they sort of use it and turn it back at the same time.
That's right. I was trying to, I thought that was said.
Yeah, for sure.
If that's the case, do you have any, arrows of flame or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, like the explosive arrows could work for that. You could.
So that's okay.
You could do. I mean, there's a fireball arrow, but that's not cheap.
Right. Yeah, I don't have much. I don't have much left. What are the prices? What are the amounts? Like a few, like one arrow for this much, or?
Yeah, for the most part, it would be like one arrow for whatever the price is, and the majority of them start at 100 gold, and they go all the way up to what is
Okay.
it?
So like
500.
100 gold for one arrow.
Yeah, for one arrow.
Yeah. Never mind. We'll move on. It was an afterthought anyway. Thank you for your time.
Magic ammunition is expensive. Yeah,
That's what I.
Yeah.
That's what I
Hold
figured.
on. So Sar would have sort of gone with him at the same time in order to sort of just have another sort of gander at the healing potions. And did they say like 100 for like an arrow of what was it, firebolts or something?
An exploding arrow, yeah. Was
Oh, an expl.
Yeah. The fireball one would be a bit more expensive than that.
Sure. Actually, yeah, I might as well ask, how much is it for the fireball one? Like after hearing go and say, oh no, never mind, it's too much.
350, but with your discount, that would be 315.
Bit steep for me, but that.
Yeah, we don't get them.
How about
in that
how about
often.
an exploding one, and I'll take one of these healing potions as well.
Just a regular one or a greater healing potion?
I think with the amount of money I have, it's got to be just a regular one. It's the greater ones, they're like 150 or something, right?
They're 100, and then you get 10% off, so they're 90.
Okay, actually, yeah. Let's go for a greater and one of those exploding arrows.
Yeah, that's 180 gold then, for the both, after discount.
Yeah.
For the both.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I can get you the info on the arrow.
And yeah, Sar will pass over that exploding arrow to Corwin.
Oh,
I have a feeling that this might come in handy for all of our sakes.
Thank you. I'll try to save your life with it.
Yeah.
Holds on to it until the end of the game because there was never an opportunity.
Yeah.
But yes. Yeah, so that has you guys collected up, and Badger, waves at you guys and wishes you the best of luck. Hope to see you all again. Certainly, I don't mind your money.
Get you on the flip flop.
Shopkeep.
I don't know what that means, but sure. Yeah. I imagine you guys are. I think we'll probably end it as you guys are hitching up the horses and getting ready to head off. Somebody spots a giant puddle just behind the stables. You just hitch the horses, and you're like, "All right, let's get going." And as you guys ride off, we fade away into the session.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that brings us to a close for today, everybody. That was pretty heckin' fun. Hopefully next time. Hopefully next time you won't need to use that arrow immediately. But I think that's it.
Avalanche.
I do think that's it for us. That we will hopefully be back next week with the 6th session for Chasing Embers, as no pun intended, or maybe, as things are starting to heat up. Hope to see you all there. Looks like we're gonna go ahead and rate something pretty again, because she's streaming at this hour. So I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic evening, and I hope to catch you all next time. Bye.
Take care, everyone.
Bye bye.